they was gonna. Yo, what's good, boxing family? Happy Friday. Welcome back to the Slipping Counter Podcast. We're at the Kenichi Bears Studios. I'm your host, BINK. This your other host, the Golden Boy. What's up with you, baby?
Not much, man. Good to see my brother.
Of course. It's
family
always
up in here.
family reunion every Friday. We come up in this joint. How y'all been this week? How y'all been this week?
I'm good. Come on with it. Cause you know I cut the bull, man.
I ain't gonna cut no bull, man. I gotta check in with y'all because I ain't really talked y'all. I've been busy all week, so I ain't really tapped in with y'all. But everybody seem to be in good spirits. Everybody seem happy.
Yeah, got Miss K laughing up the Chick-fil-A, so
Laughing
good.
Chick-fil-A.
This is good. I'm comfortable in my Kenichi Bear hoodie.
Yo, I need to get one, yo.
Yes, nice.
I need to get one.
Comfortable.
Did you watch? I'm gonna save that. Did you watch the fights last weekend?
The one with Montana and everything.
Well, like the fights period. You had cards on ESPN and DAZN.
I did watch the ESPN one. I ain't watched too much of the DAZN one. That
Okay.
was the main thing.
Okay.
But I saw that jump with Montana. That was bad. That was bad looking. People was weary the last two fights.
I wanted to save it for the show to talk about that. I ain't want to ruin it on my page. But man, oh man, he was in a tough fight. What's his name? Stevie Sparks from Australia. That joker looked big in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, he had him hurt. Like, the thing was, though, I hate to say it, but, because I've always been a fan of Montana since the amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see the writing on the wall the past two fights.
Mm-hmm.
Guys got tired. He came back and won.
Mm-hmm.
For Kenny Sims, some people felt he lost.
Right.
It's just different fights. Like, some of the writing was on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a nasty cut he got. But he did the right thing by holding the guy, but he knew what he was doing, flipping him over the top rope. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, yo.
Coach Rowe, what's up, Coach Rowe, in the chat? But yeah, bro,
That's
definitely
my guy right there.
He definitely knew what he was doing, bro. But what blew me about that whole situation, Eddie Hearn, how you get in the ring and say that nonsense? You said, oh, the ref made a terrible decision. Oh, da-da-da-da. Come on, bro. He threw him out the ring.
He said what he was supposed to say.
He said what he was supposed to say, but come on, man.
That's his fighter. He said what he was supposed to say, but we don't know what's being said. We having a meeting on Monday. We having a meeting on Wednesday. Or, I don't know if we hire on this guy, put him on the show for a little bit. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what's being said. I hope not. That's not being said, but you never know. I've seen it many times. Them promoters act like this, that, and the third. You the next guy up, or your time is now.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, you have one fight and get hit with one right hand, and they fall into this trap of all of a sudden putting you on the shelf or whatever, instead of looking at it as, oh, he adjusted and won or whatever thing. They just, sometimes it could just be like that. It's just how it is.
For sure.
But what we'll say, Montana's is marketability.
He's marketable, right.
He's funny.
He's funny as hell. He kind of reminds me of a Prime
Coming
AB.
in with his puppy.
Yeah, he reminds me of Prime AB a little bit, with the glamour, the talk, the flash.
But we also knew the flaws that Twin had.
Exactly. And that's a big part of his demise, too. Exactly. Living a lifestyle, you ain't really.
Now, I'm talking not just the lifestyle, the inside the ring flaws.
That's what I'm saying.
Similar, too.
Very similar. Very similar. I like how the boy Stevie came out, though. He came out and stuck to the game plan, said, I'm coming at you. You're going to have to deal with the heat I'm about to bring to you. And he showing up, bro. Man, when he scored the knockdown, I said, oh, he in a world of trouble.
Yeah.
Montana's in a world of trouble.
He was hurt.
Bad.
He was hurt. I think he still had enough. He knew where he was. He wasn't like he didn't know where he was, but his body wasn't catching up.
Yeah.
So he still had the wherewithal to dip and put his weight on this guy. But the crazy part is he was trying to put his weight on this guy, but his legs wasn't back yet. So it was like a stumble to him trying to lock him up and then pushing him over.
Uh-huh.
But man, that was
no,
man, you ain't distracting.
Hold on. I'm not distracting you. Yo, I'm not distracted. There's a sequence of events. There's an order.
You caught this, right? You see how you trying to distract me, right? From the main thing.
No, because we talked about that 30. We didn't talk about that 30,000 freaking times. We can touch on that. I want to ask you about, because did you see him and Richardson going back and forth?
Oh,
I didn't even know they had beef like that.
Oh my God.
I didn't know they had real beef like that.
Yeah.
What happened? That's crazy, yo. I like that fight though.
Yeah,
I do like that fight. I got Richardson too. He's more polished.
More polished.
Yeah.
He's late in the fight. The talent starts to separate.
Right.
That's what's gonna wind up happening.
For sure. We gotta get Richardson on the show, man. If you're listening, big bro, we love to have you in here slipping counter, man. Love to have you.
My thing is, I didn't. Once I got the message that was happening, I was like, oh.
Yeah, somebody was in the chat last week. They was telling us in the chat on the show, like, yo, he just went at his neck on the press conference, and that joint was crazy.
I'm not gonna get into it. I just know, yes, he wants to really hurt him. He wants to hurt him bad. He wants to embarrass him, basically.
For real.
Richardson is one of those polished dudes that he's gonna systematically beat the slop out of you for 12 rounds. It ain't just breaking. It's just polishing, and you can't catch up to him, and he's just peppering you all day long, and he just systematically dismantles you and talks a lot of shit while he's doing it. He won't. And the thing is, though, he learned a lot of that in New York. When he moved to New York and they start calling him Little Africa, that's when he learned.
You're right. It's the NY coming out of him, man.
Bruh. I mean, man, two of my guys, Richard and Makai, they went up there to spar, man. Without shut up. But he do that when you spawn. When you get out, man, he show you a lot of love.
He a cool dude. I met him.
He show
once.
you a lot of love.
Cool dude. How you feel about Sanisa's last performance? She looked beautiful.
Was Sanisa.
She looked beautiful, man.
Like, what you expect?
She looked great, man.
Sanisa was Sanisa.
Bringing
Period.
it downstairs, boom, boom, back up top, boom, discipline with the jab,
the control,
right.
Oh God.
She like that, man.
Oh my God.
Sanisa's like that, bro.
Sanisa's tough, yo.
Man, if y'all don't know who she is, which you should by now, but if you don't, man, go check out for real. She got every tool in the bag, and I feel like she got better.
Yeah, she got better. She got more polish.
She added more to her tool bag since the last time we saw her fight.
Yep.
The way she was running them numbers downstairs and bringing it back up top, and then she wasn't there to be touched. Oh, now I'm right here.
And walk you this way. Fancy, come on, walk over. No, I'm a probe. Right. No, turn. Pop, boom. Turn back over. Come back. Oh.
And then she started sitting down. Like you saw her sit down. Boom, boom. Yo, beautiful work. Beautiful work. Her and Marlena.
Bro, cut that.
Come on, bro.
That's
man. What she wants.
You'll be the worst. She
that's
gonna be the worst. As bad as it was that first fight, I hate to say it. I really hate to say this because I mean Marlene's one of our best amateurs to ever come. I mean, just so smooth, polished. I get it. But I'm just being straight up with this. The beating that she put on that girl in that first fight, was brutal. I mean, she did every trick in the book. I've gone over this fight multiple times on the show. The systematic breakdown she did of that girl. I'll just go and make it quick, real quick, just to recap it. Me and my father watching it. We watched this whole thing build up, memory from the amateurs, whatever. So we watching it. My father was like, wait, Marlene wanted to make it 3 minutes? I said, yeah. Okay. Because we didn't want to say it, but we thinking, because she had a little bit of time out to where she wasn't in this top of shape as she used to be. And, then she had a kid and all these different things. So it was like, I don't know. And then you remember Sanisa talking trash about it, saying, why your cup all the way up here? But she knocked out the girl and all ESPN. Talking cash trash.
Right.
And when they got ready to fight, I'm sitting there watching this. And my father called it the second round. He said, Marlene gonna win the first 2-3 rounds and the whole fight about to change. I said, what? He said, watch. First 2-3 rounds, she gonna look spectacular. But this girl can hit. Season didn't throw one punch real significantly. He was like, man, I already know by looking at her that she done got even stronger. This girl can hit.
Yeah, she's stronger
I remember
now.
This girl can hit. And he's a man. Next thing you know, she gonna start punishing. She ain't gonna knock her out. She gonna punish her. Just for all the talking she done did, saying stuff about her father, saying stuff about her. Oh, yeah, she gonna break. And you start seeing her in clinches. Yeah, such beep, won't come back out. They're trying to break. Push
Talking
her off.
cash shit.
Stop. Then she purposely bringing the right hand out. Sanisa, I know you're not a dirty fighter. I'm not saying that. But she wanted to rough her up. That head, but I cut you. All right, let's open that up a little more. Bang, straight right hand. Bang, and we in the clinch? Okay, cool. I'm going to just move my head over just enough. And next you know, that cut opening up more. Whatever plastic surgeon that was on call, whether they took it to the hospital to do it or they did it in the back, did a hell of a job on Sanisa. Because that joint, Badu Jack's was bad. Marlene's was probably just as bad.
Yeah. Oh, that Badu Jack joint.
That Badu Jack joint was vicious.
I forgot about that joint. Lord Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Damn, I forgot about that.
And I'm like, bro, those types, and then you start to see by the 4th, 5th round, Marlene starting to get touched. She's starting to walk to the corner, put her arm on the top rope. Those different things. And I said, oh, this is about to change. These next 7 rounds is about to be rough for her. And she just started beating the mess out this girl. Go watch the tape. You really think Marlene ain't gonna come back and change that? No, the only way she changed that is if she gets anywhere near this top of shape she used to be in amateurs.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing changed. I don't see nothing changing. I mean, that's
a tough fight, man. That's a tough fight. But I always want to see Sanisa fight anybody.
Yeah.
See her fight anybody, man.
Get her money.
You see, I like this one too, bro. I like this one. I want to get your opinion on this one. Teofimo got a new opponent. He now fights Sandor Martin.
Oh, my God.
That boy Sandor Martin, yo.
I was looking forward though to Sniper fighting him.
Yeah.
Cause you remember that performance he put on against Lomachenko. He was right there with his feet, but he just couldn't keep up. But he was there. He was in top shape. I was like, man, I'd love to see that.
They might get that.
Sniper.
That might come back.
But Sandor Martin, I fundamentally textbook wise, I gotta say Mikey Garcia is more textbook than Teofimo. But Teofimo's more naturally, athletically talented or whatever.
Explosive.
Yeah, explosive, which is very dangerous in this sport. You know, guys like Roy Jones, Teofimo, where they just jump at you and they just that quick. And but Sandor Martin, man, after that Mikey Garcia jump,
he was circling Mikey.
Son, I just knew, okay, Mikey gonna turn it on around. Mikey gonna turn it on. Mikey about to turn it on, dog. Mikey ain't turning this on, dog. He's not turning this on. What the hell is going on here? And
hey, no bull. I was watching that joint. I'm like, okay, Mikey. Yeah, Mikey.
What is Mikey? Happening
I'm like,
right
damn,
now?
Mikey. I'm like, yo, what? Like, come on, Mikey. What's going on? Mikey never woke up.
But side note, you know what's crazy about that fight? It seemed like those fighters from Robert Garcia, and Robert Garcia, he had the same incident in his career. Even though he was beating Ben Taki. Ben Taki caught him late, like in the 11th or 12th, like a minute left or something like that, 38 seconds left. So when he caught him, you know, he had that, then he just walked away from the sport, came back and fought like 2-3 more fights. One then retired. Bam Bam Rios, he had a big, you know, comeback fight. I forget where. Was it Mexico? I forget. Or New Mexico? I'm not sure. Like, but he lost to a guy he wasn't supposed to lose to. He retires. Now, Mikey, exact same thing. Like, I don't know what it is about that. Okay, Fernando Vargas.
Yeah.
Same it's a thing about that camp.
Shout out to the Vargas family though, because Emiliano just had a crazy knockout this weekend.
Oh my God.
Crazy knockout.
And that's the baby.
The baby one.
That's the
baby Vargas.
Boy.
Hitting like the big Vargas, yo. That shit was crazy.
God. Dog.
That shit was crazy, man. Shout out to the Vargas family, man.
Legends.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Legends, man. But it's like, I don't know what it is. I don't know. But you see this for years where it's like they do this and next thing you know, they just wind up not getting to a certain level. They win world titles. They legends. They're Hall of Famers for real. Right. But then all of a sudden, it's like they get to these fights where they lose to people they kind of not supposed to lose to, and then they just retire. Right. Like they every time they all like come as a family and be like, all right, yes, you think it's time to call it? Yeah, let's call it. And then they done. So that's very telling. But Sandor Martin, bro,
he boxed beautiful. I'm thinking even if Mikey brought what he's supposed to bring to the ring.
You saw how he jumped up when they said his name? He was surprised.
I said they better not rob him. I came in there going 100% for Mikey, but I said they better not rob Sandor because he fought his ass off. That was beautiful, son. It was beautiful. But I think even if Mikey brought what he was supposed to bring to the ring that night and fought the way he was supposed to fight, that would have still been a close fight. And you probably could have even, just going off theoretics here, you probably could even still gave that fight to Sandor the way he boxed because he was on point. Maybe that was just his one night where he had to be perfect and he was perfect for that one night. But if he can do that again with Teofimo, this could be a great fight. We could see it again. We could see it again. I'm telling you.
All right, so how long you gonna keep stalling this?
All right, y'all. Okay, so let me go ahead and build it up.
You see this, right?
Let me go ahead and build
this. Niche, okay, y'all see he's stalling the topic that I know he want to talk about.
Honest, I'm being honest. No, I'm being honest. I really don't want to talk about it. We talked about it.
Lie.
We talked about it. But okay, news, boxing world, y'all know the contract has been signed. It is really low-key signed because he about to get signed, but it's a signed deal.
Good comeback.
It's a signed deal. God. See, this shit live. You can't cut, retake. Ain't no retake. You gotta do it live. It's a done deal. Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, 2023 in Las Vegas now. Tank said he fighting in D.C. in January. If that is true, if that fight
who beat Prime,
Lil
B Hop, the boy who beat him, the guy who came out of nowhere on 2 days' notice and beat
Lil
B Hop.
Yeah,
he's about to fight him supposedly.
Oh, what's that? What was that dude name?
Garcia. I forget his name. Something Hector something. I gotta look it up. But
the older gentleman. He's a little bit older in his career.
Nah,
right?
He's not older.
Is he?
The one who beat Prime, who beat Lil B Hop.
I know you're talking about. I can see his face. I just can't remember his name.
I know. Yeah. Point being, he gonna supposed to fight him basically. So that then I
that
guess
might be
in
a
the
good
middle of
fight.
I guess next summer it's supposed to be him and Ryan.
That's supposed to be a tune-up, but that could end up being a good fight.
Yeah,
because he made Lil B Hop look crazy. To be honest.
Yeah, but VR just fought the wrong fight.
I didn't expect that.
First round, he fought the wrong fight. I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah, they saying Isaac in January on DC. Isaac in January in DC. Who will be the DC opponent? He's saying it's gonna be the guy that you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's fact. That's stand.
That's what it sounded like from
Okay.
what I'm hearing. I haven't really seen too many posts, but when I'm getting told, yeah.
And then again, things change all the time, so
all
we never
the
know.
time.
But Tank is fighting in DC in January. If you're in the area, let's pop out. I'm
you
popping
already
out.
know who's gonna pop up at that fight.
Everybody.
The Russells.
Everybody, but of course the Russells.
The Russells gonna come talk
right, but
trash, bro.
Yeah, everybody popping out. But for sure, if you're a fight fan, Gervonta Davis in DC locally, don't miss it. It's gonna be electric. Make sure y'all show up and y'all show off for that event. But like you want to talk about, it's a done deal. Ron Garcia, Gervonta Davis will step into the ring 2023 in Las Vegas.
You see how you try to switch it up and say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I want to talk about it." Okay,
ahead,
no.
bro.
All right, I'm gonna cook.
Go ahead, Chef Curry.
All right.
Lou Peterson, what's up, fellas? What's up, Lou? What's up, Lou?
Firstly, I'm happy. Yes, I am happy for my friend. I'm happy for boxing. But let's just all be real here. Let's all keep it a buck here.
Square biz.
Yeah, let's keep it square biz here. Keep it all the way tall, as my country family members would say. If you know where that's saying from too.
Hell no.
Until you hear seconds out, mouthpiece in, timekeeper, box. Until you hear that, you hear seconds out and it's time for that bell to ring, don't feel like this fight gonna happen. I hate to say that. I really do. But and I really hate to be a part of it. But until that happens, be all right. Then on top, that's just how I feel. I done seen it too many times in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of it, you got to treat it like Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson was immortal. But he was also he was Floyd before Floyd. Like, man, I'm taking 80, you take 20%. Like, straight like that. That's how Sugar Ray Robinson
Michael
was.
Love, he said, yo, how y'all feeling about this Ron and Tank? Hey, we about to get into it right now.
We about to get into it right now.
I get into it right now.
You got to treat this fight just like Sugar Ray Robinson. Sugar Ray Robinson fought damn near everybody except for Charlie Burley.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet as that's kept. But basically, he would be all the way up to 2 days before the fight. And next thing you know, he'll say, nah, I don't like this. Mm-hmm. And then back out and they got to change it before he even shows up at the arena. And people are filing it. Like, Sugar Ray Robinson was notorious for that. So, certain things you just got, like with this fight, that's just how I'm treating it. I just don't. That's just how I feel. Like, all right, cool. But until this really happens, I'm not going to jump up for it. We done seen Ryan back out of too much stuff. Mm-hmm. Then on top of that, if the fight does happen, I hate to say it, but I'm treating Ryan like Jerry Cooney. Mm-hmm. When Jerry Cooney, after he fought Larry Holmes, he fell off. Like he wanted to retire. Then he came back for a couple comeback fights. Stepped back out, left, came back in, left again. So I think it might be that until he has other ventures. Mm-hmm. Maybe, and he says he wants to call it at 26. And one thing Oscar can't stop is if he says, I'm done.
Right.
You could talk about contract all you want. But if he puts his paperwork in and say, I'm done, he's done until he re-signs. Say, I'm coming out of retirement. Hell, by the time if he comes out of retirement another year or two, take another year or two off, and come back at 28, guess what? He can wind up saying, no, I'm going to throw my own card at that point.
Right.
So, I mean, but at the same time, it could be nothing to lose for him. Mm-hmm. I'm on my guy. Mm-hmm. Even though I feel like this boy going to get hurt, hate to say it, I feel like he's going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Tank can't get stupid.
That's what makes it that boy,
because that one hook, even though this boy drops his right hand, lifts his head in the air, closes his eyes, and whips his hook, that gifted whipping hook he got, you still can't get hit by it. You still can't get hit by it. But besides that, you gotta think, dog. Like, I done seen Tank spar Lil Pat. If you don't know who Lil Pat is, that's Bug, son.
Oh, yeah, vicious.
If you don't, bruh, oh my God. I can't believe that boy ain't.
He's at his time when he should be fighting primetime, Showtime events, ESPN Top Rank.
Skip.
I'm telling you, bro.
Dog, hey, piss me off.
YG Pat. Shout out to YG Pat, man. For real. He a dog, man. He a dog. He should be that guy fighting co-main events, main events here very, very, very soon. Hopefully very soon.
Dangerous.
He's him for real. Shout out YG Pat.
Yo,
that's why I'm like, I know you're talking about.
Just watching him, dog. He one of the ones who said, content? I gotta get used to this.
Right.
Like, you can see me on the other side of the camera. Yeah. Like, that boy dangerous, man. Oh my goodness. But you see these guys, man. He's the one who helps Tank get ready for a lot of his camps. Him and Mikey Fox, and they be getting it.
Them sparring sessions. I saw one. Him and Tank sparring.
Bruh.
Vicious, yo.
Vicious.
Yeah.
And that's normal.
Right.
And it's like, for me, I just don't see. Tank would have to make a big mistake to get caught by that. Huge mistake. A careless one. I just don't see that happening, though. I see him at a certain point walking that boy down and starting to break him down a little bit. Like, at first, he starts off a little bit like this, like working the C pattern in the middle. The next thing you know, he just starts, man, let's push this boy back and start breaking him down. Starts to break him down. And then he goes to that corner, and Coach Cal and Kenny say, is there anything we need to worry about? Nah.
Go get him, Go
get him. Man, we on the inside with him. Dude, man, I can hear. I've been around, seen him for too long. Like, man, all right, cool, man. We on the inside, man. You ain't working, man. Stop me digging under him. Stop shooting everything. Da-da-da. Next thing you know, all right, just don't get caught with nothing stupid, all right? Because he's gonna get desperate. Don't get caught with nothing stupid, man. Start walking this boy down, break his spirit, and then everything's gonna start to change. Round 6, round 7, I could see that happening
for sure.
As long as you don't get caught with nothing stupid.
Nothing stupid, but yeah. I do. I'm gonna go over it real quick one more time for y'all. At first, I was against the fight. I don't feel like Ryan Garcia deserves to fight Tank at this point in his career. But the fight is starting to grow on me a little bit because of
what it'll do for boxing. The casuals.
It's gonna bring so many casuals. The arena's gonna be sold out. I know that for sure. The energy in that arena is gonna be ridiculous for sure. But what interests me about the fight is the what if factor.
The what if?
Them first few rounds, I'm be holding my breath like, yo. Who gonna land the first?
It's an after school fight.
Right.
Like,
the first. Who gonna land that first?
Yeah, you ain't gonna hear no. You're gonna hear.
Right. That's the energy that I'm expecting.
It's gonna be the Rolly fight all over again.
Exactly, and it's interesting because, like you said, Tank should be able to walk him down, start to land his shots, and get him out of there. But that left hook. But
that's the only thing he got. It's fast, but it's the only. It's like his own. That's the only.
But it's so
set.
Dangerous.
But
that joint is so dangerous.
You're right, but you got to also take it to effect at this high of a level.
Tank's not falling for that.
At that point, it's almost like at this point, Tank's done added this, added that. It's almost like, okay, you really got to set up this to get this kid.
Right.
You got to really, and then you got to really try to distract Tank with this before you can land this almost. So
right.
And try to probe that hand and get behind it. So. But you know what? The biggest thing, though, is put pressure on Bud and Spence. One thing that Bud said I disagree with, when he said, my legacy, I don't need this for my legacy. Really, it kind of hurts both of them in a sense because it's like, dog, y'all still not doing what needs to be done, almost. And it's like, I get why he said it. I ain't gonna downplay myself type of thing.
Right.
Like, cause I still got in that ring and I became undisputed here. I won a title here and I won a title there. And it's like, yeah, but it's always gonna be there. But I guess maybe he said it because it's like, you know what? At the same time, I did everything I could or whatever the case may be. He wanted a guarantee. He wanted to be transparent. They didn't give it to him. But at the same time, it's always gonna be that one, man, what if Spence? Because all Spence is all 3 moves. 1, 2, 3 is all 3 moves. One move, and it's breaking down.
Right. It's that fight that the fans wanted, that we never got. The fans want Ryan Garcia and Tank. They're giving it to us. The fans want to see David Benavidez and Caleb Plant because of the beef and the back and forth. They're giving it to us. Spence and Crawford, y'all not giving it to us. So it's like, what is y'all doing? So like you said, it does kind of make them look bad in a sense because y'all falling off of what's supposed to happen, but other guys making it happen. And what's next for y'all? You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that also, the fight is on the catch weight. So everything that was needed to be negotiated happened.
Right.
I don't want to hear nothing else about Tank. And this ain't got nothing to do with my relationships towards them. Through the amateurs. I'm dead serious. Like Coach Cal said, you gotta give him his props because he could have easily at this point said, nah, man, I ain't giving him that. And just did what Bud and Earl did. He didn't do that. He's like, all right, cool. We're gonna do this. And then tip my hat to Ryan because Ryan made a big sacrifice. He's getting bigger. He's going to go and cut the extra 4 to make 36 at the catch weight limit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. That could be a problem late in the fight too.
If it go that late.
Yeah.
If it go past 8, I'll be surprised.
I can see it go past 8.
You can see it going past 8?
I can see it go past
8. I can see 10 maybe.
Yeah, I can see
10 at the tops.
catching them. I honestly think Ryan's going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. Like, cause it's his back is against the wall. It's like, all right, kid, you won't stop talking about this boy.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you want to cash out. So all right, that must be what you trying to do. Everything that you done since the amateurs, all of this led up to now. So now you're gonna pour everything you got left into this.
Mm-hmm.
You better show up.
This can be pivotal, man. This can be pivotal for either one of these fighters. More so for Ryan. Tank already at that level. But Ryan go ahead and do something spectacular. He gonna shut a lot of people up.
Oh yeah. Oh what? I'll come on the show.
Especially you. Especially.
Oh, so as soon as the show start and you introduce, I'm just gonna do this. Drop my stress ball.
Yeah, 100%.
Tip my hat to you, Ryan.
100%.
Well done. That was beautiful. Especially if it's spectacular, like, oh, that was pretty.
Right.
You know how I'd be like, man, that was pretty.
You had to get it.
Because Ben done seen me with guys I really don't like. Like, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very few and far in between. But it's because I get a lot of love from everybody. But there's a few guys I just don't like. And since we were amateurs, like kids, I just don't like you. Like, Big seen it up close. Mm-hmm. Shut up.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
But if you fight your butt off, you look good. Like I always say, man, you know what that 3 minutes feel like. So I tip my hat to you. Man, God, that was beautiful. Yeah, he showed up.
Indeed.
That man showed up, man. You know, and I keep it moving. And I'm glad you got your money and you got out safe. Cause that chamber of truth, that ring, I never forget. God rest his soul, Coach Tim. He would say, them 4 corners is the biggest snitch. That's what he would always say. Man, I'll tell you, man, them 4 corners is the biggest snitch, man.
So no.
Tell on you. It will tell on you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you know what? If he was to go in there and savor the moment and show, even though I feel like he got too many flaws that he should not be having right now. If he still stayed with Cinnamon, totally different fight.
Right.
I'm sorry. I hate to put it like that. Until, even though I still feel Tank would have won because I noticed what Eddie Reynoso is like, once you make a second game plan and adjust, he's not that, they don't really do well with that.
Right.
They don't never, it's always just one plan A is supposed to work. And they just lose after that. But the repetitions they would have had him doing, the things they would have had him doing, it's a different fight. He would have been even more dangerous. But now, he's going to come in. The biggest mistake is he's going to come in trying to knock Tank out because he's with Joe Goosen. Joe Goosen is a bricklayer. He teaches you to bricklay. He teaches you to walk out. Like, look at the guys he's always had. Main one, Chico freaking Corrales, bro. Like, dangerous dudes. Like, that no matter what you did, they would stay on you. They stayed on you. And that might get him hurt.
Oh, for sure. 100%. 100%. I could see Tank landing an overhand left. Something crazy in this fight. Something crazy. But we gonna see, man. How you feel about Rolly got on, was talking about, yeah, I got a fight coming. Hold on, bro. He said I got a fight coming up. Who you think Rolly about to fight?
Don't give a fuck.
But I heard it might be AB.
Don't give a fuck.
Rolly versus AB.
I don't give a fuck.
Got to.
I don't.
Got to.
I don't.
It's big though. This is big for the sport. You should, because AB just signed that wild contract. We like, okay, who is AB gonna fight that's worth making him any money? That's worth making him any money. He don't want to talk. I'll talk about it. Put the camera on me.
Y'all gonna really make me do this? Like,
he don't want to talk. Put the camera on me.
God.
I'll talk about it.
Come on, man.
So look. AB just signed his big contract with BLK Prime. BLA or was it BLK? BLK Prime, right? And we had talked on the show. We was like, damn, he signed his contract, but at the point AB is in his career, who could he fight that be worth making him any money now? Who could he fight that be worth making him any money? Who could he sell a fight with at this point in his career that he will be able to make money?
What you smiling at, Mr.
And then Rolly get on Instagram the other day talking
He's
about
really ugly.
I got a fight coming up.
And the guy,
really all I can tell you is he's ugly.
Like, bro, go
Hey,
get
yo.
your skills right.
Hey yo. I'm gonna be honest. Square biz. Keep it tall with you. I did good. I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all. AB and Rolly, bro. The lead up to that fight gonna be hilarious.
Oh my
god. It's gonna be like the Def Comedy Jam back in the day tour.
Bro.
It's gonna be hilarious. That lead up gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be rated X.
Yes.
It's gonna be so bad.
If that's the next fight, AB and Rolly, Slim. That's gonna be same time. That's gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, we've been around each other for too long, bro.
That's gonna be crazy, bro.
You know, side note, real quick. You know what my mother said when we first started hanging out? She said, "So you went to school with him or such?" I said, "Nah, met him at the fight." She said, "You got a friend for life." I said, "Why you say?" She's like, y'all act like y'all done known each other for about 7, 8 years or whatever." I'm like,
it be like that.
I was like, man. But now back to the bull, like, real quick, Kenichi and Gay. Is it contractually obligated for me to talk about this topic?
Yeah, it was in the contract. They said you have to talk about Rolly.
And you just gonna laugh at this though.
When he wrote the contract, it had AB and Rolly at the top and said you must talk about these guys when brought up on the show. And you signed it. So
oh God.
Shout out to Kenichi Bear for writing up that contract.
All right. So look, if it's at the lead up, it's gonna be worth the pay-per-view to buy. Just to watch the press conferences, you gotta pay admission. The fight, man, you gotta keep AB in the gym, bro. You really gotta get him to his peak. If you don't, it's people gonna be really upset at the performance, and Rolly will wind up upsetting him,
and maybe hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, and because Rolly is I always say this. I give him his props. He's a dog, man. He is a dog. Like, he earned his stripes at Mayweather Gym. He really did. He went in there every time. And he wanted it. Like, I will always tip my hat to Rolly for that. Because y'all done seen guys that they talk the rah-rah. Like, you've seen me. I'm all respectful, nice, whatever. But, okay, when it was time, it was time. But guys, you had guys who felt like they had to walk this certain line, especially at Mayweather Gym.
Right.
And then the next thing you know, oh, nah, man, let me go. Or they get in there, but they ain't really doing nothing for it, you know. So I tip my hat to Rolly. But, man, Bo, I think we got a legend in the building.
Oh, for sure. So look, man, I guess this here in the building, man. This guy, TMT representative, a friend of ours. We met at the same fight I met him, and it's been love from the very jump. Nothing but love for this guy. Let's bring in Derrick Curry.
It's a bad dude, man. That's a bad dude. My guy. Let me get up for this one. Yes, indeed.
How you been, man?
Good, man. Good to
have you. Good to see you, man. Good to be here, man. Thank you. Yeah.
You look great, legend.
Thank you, man. I'm trying, man.
Indeed. You want to put the headphones on, the headphones right there.
Oh, okay. Man. I got the headphones and everything.
Oh, yeah. We're official up here, man.
I see.
Yeah.
Hey.
So good, man. Glad to have you here, guys. This is Derrick Curry, TMT, the money team. Great to have you.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you all.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we go back. So.
Yes, indeed.
Hey.
Yeah. I was just telling them, man, we all met at the same fight. I came to that fight with Jeff. I met him.
Yep.
I met you the same day. And like since that day, it's been nothing but love between both of y'all, man. So I just appreciate y'all.
Was that Rose Crawl?
At the Rose Crawl. At the same fight.
Rose
I was new. I was brand new in the boxing game. And Jeff was like, look, I'm going to take you to the fight. I'm going to take you to all these gyms, introduce you to everybody. And that was what, like a year and a half ago now?
Yeah.
Damn near 2 years?
Yeah,
almost 2 years.
Months.
Right.
Yeah.
And for us to still be here, like right now, kicking it like this is just, it's powerful, man. So this is going to be powerful. I love this.
Yeah,
I love this, man.
Yeah.
Yes. How you been living?
Man, been maintaining, man.
Uh-huh.
You know, just working, man, and staying out the way.
I heard that.
Laying low.
For sure. So I wanted to kind of get into more than boxing. You know, we see the TMT, the TBE on the back. So we know who and what you represent when you coming on here.
Right.
But I wanna get people to know like who is Derrick Curry and how did you get to where you are?
The
Man,
legendary ball player, right?
I mean, I can go into detail, which I will, but at the end of the day, man, it's hard work and dedication.
Yeah.
You know, you got to pay your dues, and you know, you got to surround yourself with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the end of the day, you got to surround yourself with the right people.
Right.
You know, early on, as far as with the boxing piece, I mean, you know, everybody that know me knows Sean Bay Mitchell. Me and him been best friends since we was knee high.
Right.
You know, Sean Bay fought, became a 2-time world champion. So you know, being around Sean Bay, being around his manager, his first manager Kenny Wills,
Mm-hmm.
and then his manager Nate Peak.
I remember
You
all
know,
of this.
just being around that atmosphere and learning the insides and out
Mm-hmm.
of everything with boxing. I mean, yeah, I could fight, you
Yeah.
know, but learning that business part.
Oh
You know,
yes.
I was a basketball star.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
I mean, pretty much I could play any sport. I could excel it, but basketball was my first love.
Mm-hmm.
And had
and
a
kinda,
huge name
you
in that.
know.
My cousin Dwayne was, man, this dude DC Kirkman, man, good God.
Yeah, and you know, but boxing has kind of taken the place. I mean, I still love basketball, still watch it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, boxing is definitely a love too. So
Mm-hmm.
just you know, learning and you know, just growing within it and picking up, you know, pieces from
Tidbits,
everywhere.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, getting jewels from different people. You know,
Mhm.
you can learn something from anybody,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad.
All bad,
Mhm.
yeah.
So yeah,
So let me ask you, with basketball ins and outs like contracts or whatever, and boxing contracts like almost totally different. What was the differences that you picked up on that you saw from like, okay, this how when you learn and playing basketball, yeah, you hear stories too about yeah, this contract is this way, this is how you handle this, and then boxing you learn different things about contract. What's the difference you learn?
Well, in boxing, you don't have a salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
So that comes into play with professional basketball because with the salary cap and the budget, and now they got the luxury tax, you know, it's a cap to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
But,
sir.
you know, with boxing, you know, it's all about, you know,
Percentage.
now it's about how many asses you can put in the seat and how many pay-per-view tickets you can sell. I mean, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the salary cap, you kind of limited. You're limited, but not limited. With boxing, you negotiate. You know, and it can be tougher than the NBA because pretty much you go off a scale with the players and everything. But with boxing, you know, it's just negotiating to make sure everybody, you know, is happy, everybody is satisfied. You know, a lot of people have no clue what goes into boxing and negotiation with contracts and with fights. I mean, you know, it's a lot of. It's not just the fighter in a promotion company.
Preach.
You got networks. You got. It's a lot of different pieces to play.
You gotta pay ring car
everybody-
girls. You gotta pay
Yeah,
everybody.
Right.
It ain't that easy.
Right.
It's really not.
Right. So when you go into negotiation for one of your fighters, what are some of the things that you're seeing? Because people, of course, you know, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence not happening. So people's like, oh, the negotiation, da, da, da. So what about the negotiations, maybe with this situation, what are things that you notice when you're negotiating that, you know, are hard to make things happen?
Every negotiation, everything is different.
It's a little bit different, okay.
It's different because you got different levels of fighters. You know, most of my fighters that I have now kind of just starting their career or haven't reached that high peak where you know negotiations get real heavy. But when they get heavy, you know, a lot of times it's not the fighters. They come to an agreement, you know, but it's you got networks, broadcasting rights.
Preach.
All of that comes into play, and basically that's the issue.
Right.
Give me my props. Everybody watching this, because I did not say this.
Right.
Everybody
Okay.
think it's the fighters, and,
Right.
and you know you got the people trolling, and you know even with Tank, it's not Tank. Tank will fight anybody.
For real.
You know, it's not the fighters a lot of times.
Right.
I would say probably 90% of the time
It's not the
fighters. They want to fight.
Right.
Because that's what they. I mean, it's. Don't get me wrong, and this the whole thing here. I tell people all the time. In the amateurs, you already come up doing that. And then you coming up in this area, using Tank as an example. Some of your spawn sessions is fights.
Mhm.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's almost like,
Yeah.
and then when you fighting in the amateurs, especially here, just to win states, the bracket, you got to see that dude right then and there. It is what it is. You just got to see it. Unless you get a walkover, you got to see him. So you get conditioned almost. Only thing you doing when you turn a pro is preserving your body for real. Like, okay, I got to
Right.
preserve my body because you done fought so many amateur fights, so much sparring.
Yeah, you
And
can't leave it in the ring. And I've seen fighters.
Preach.
You don't get paid for sparring.
Mm-hmm.
So you going in there sparring every day and, proving that you can go in there with this fighter and laugh. You're getting hit. You're getting unnecessarily punches
Yeah.
that you don't need to be taken.
Right.
You get to work in it. Then a lot of, and it's probably a generational thing. This generation is different from past.
Oh, yeah.
This generation, I would say probably 85% of them, they don't even know how to spar.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got social media,
Mm-hmm.
you got people in there with the phones on,
Yep.
trying to show different
Yep.
things. And, it's all about bragging rights. Yeah, I got out on this dude in sparring. Okay, Ann, did you get paid for it?
Right. Right.
That don't mean nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of any young fighters listening, trust me, that don't mean nothing.
Yep.
Because all them punches that you getting hit with, even if it's a few, they add up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna shorten your career.
And this ain't
if
bag
you make
me.
it professional.
If you make it.
And I tell people, like, this ain't, I'll never forget, like, I mean, you've heard me say this 1,000 times. My father, Daryl Lattimore, Shawn Mitchell, Daryl Coley, all these guys sparring. Young Ty Barnett in the amateurs at the time. All these guys are sparring. James Baker, all these guys sparring. And back then, every sparring session was hard. That was just how it was. Like, a lot of times. It wasn't a lot of, like, today you see more circle work, things like that. Working on certain things, all jabs. Not too much. We didn't really see it too much when I was growing up. It was just, you spar. And I see the difference now, like how Uncle Nessa was like, nah, man. I never forget he said, yeah, I left a lot of myself there across that street in that bingo hall.
But here's the thing. If you go in there and sparring, and say you're the top fighter, you go in there and keep knocking out every sparring partner you
Who you gonna have to
Who you
work
gonna have
with?
to spar with you to get you ready for a fight?
Exactly.
I mean, when Sean Bay sparred, everybody always said, man, Sean Bay be going through the motions. But when them lights came on,
He showed
Sean
up.
Bay showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Bay was small back then.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Bay used to spar with Joppy, Keith Holmes,
Preach.
all them people who were Keith 6'5", 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
Sean Bay back then was probably 5'6",
Right.
and in totally different weight class.
Mm-hmm.
But they knew how to spar to make each other better, and they worked on certain things during sparring. Both fighters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a little different, but and I wouldn't always blame the fighter. You have to look at the coach and the trainer that they have. You get in the ring to spar to work on things, not to go in there and try to knock your man out and embarrass him. That ain't what it's about.
For sure.
Right.
That's good. Hope y'all listening, man. Y'all young fighters and coaches, trainers out there. Hope y'all listen. This is good. This is good. So, what was your first interaction with the money team? How did you even get with the money team?
Oh man, I mean, I've known Floyd and Leonard for years. Going all the way back with Floyd when him and Sean Bay fought, and leading up to that fight that whole week, both our family teams, were hanging around each other, interacting and everything. And see, back then, we could do that. It was a different level of respect and maturity. With camps now, they beefing. We ain't being around them. But at the end of the day, we could hang out and everything. They fight after Floyd fought Sean Bay. Floyd beat Sean Bay. Man, we were all in the lobby of the hotel partying after that. All
right.
So we got real cool after that. I mean, me and Leonard has always been cool. That's my right hand man. And so that's where it started. After Sean Bay retired, I started being around Floyd and them more, and
the rest
was
is
just blessed.
That's what's up, man.
A blessing.
That's what's up. So, being being a manager now, was that something you always planned on, or like what about boxing business drew you into the business?
I actually didn't.
Okay.
That wasn't in my plans. But you know, and I've heard all the chatter with man, Derrick he just friends with Floyd and Lynn. He don't know what he's doing. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, okay.
But these the same
Yeah,
people
okay.
that don't have a degree. I have a degree in business management.
Right.
Number one.
Uh-huh.
So I know business.
Mm-hmm.
But just being around the business, you know, when Sean Bay first started fighting pro, he was with Don King.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, being in those meetings, I learned a lot about Don King, good and bad.
Right.
You know, about the management side.
Right.
Carl King and son, same thing. So, you know, you just
say that name again. People forget that name was there.
Again, you pick up things, and you know, the opportunity presented itself, and you know, I said, hey, I'm gonna do it.
Took full advantage.
Right.
Yeah. So I've had people tell me like, BINK, man, you know, you should try getting into management or, you know, promoting. I'm like, man, I don't know. I've seen what those guys go through.
You don't need that headache.
It definitely.
You don't need that headache in your life.
You don't want that headache,
But,
man.
you know,
Right.
shout out Raymond Bubbles Jackson. I said, yeah, when you gonna start? I said, Uncle Bubbles, when you gonna start teaching me how to be promoted? He literally, nah, man, you don't need that headache in your life.
Nothing
bro.
about me wants to be promoting, but I see what you do, and it's like, man. So how could someone? I hear what you're saying, but like from you know, from where I'm at, or maybe wanting to get into where you at. What's the first step? Just getting in the right rooms, talking to the right people.
Knowing the business first.
Okay.
Knowing the business. You know, a lot of people think they know the business.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea because they haven't been on the inside of the business.
Mm-hmm.
They go off what they read in the media, what they see on social media. Half of that shit don't be true.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be in the mix of it to really understand it. Understand the politics of it. I mean, I tell people, boxing is probably one of the, if not the most political sport in the world.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of politics in it. You have to know the right people. You have to be in the right position. People got to respect you.
Mm-hmm.
People got to have a you know who you are. I mean, it's a lot that plays into that in order to get where you want to go, get your fighters to where you want them to be at, and get your foot in the door. And everybody, it doesn't happen for everybody.
For sure.
You know, but first thing, you know, educate yourself on the business piece because a lot of people say they know it. Even boxers think that they know the business. They don't. Former boxers that think they know the business. You've been on the boxing side, but not the other side. Even though you might have been involved in some negotiations, but that behind the scenes stuff, yeah, it's a lot to it.
Right.
And I always tell people if you know the business that well, you should be well off.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Well said.
That's good.
I mean, I just seen fights. I learned a lot of just, you know, being in the gym and fighters who had big fights coming up, listening to conversations, talking. And then really when I was in Jared's camp, when he was making his ascension, learning that stuff, listening to it, like, wait, huh? Like, oh, certain stuff you hear, like, he done heard conversations I told him about when I growing up listening. Like, wait, huh? They got to do what? Like, oh, fights fall out because he got to wear this glove? Or, nah, I'm not letting the ring be this size.
Yep.
Man, you trying to take my legs from me. You did it. Or hearing Paul and Malignaggi talk about the Miguel Cotto fight, how he basically gave everything away. Just they took his legs from him and everything, making the ring smaller, make the ropes tighter.
Issue with the glove.
Ropes
a lot
tighter.
of things.
Whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
But I would say, you know, learn the business and get with the right people or right individual that can, you know, mentor you and kind of groom you if that's what you really want to do. I mean, I've been blessed and fortunate to work with the biggest and best promotion company in the world and the smartest promoter in the world, Leonard Ellaby. You know, so you know I can't go wrong learning from the best.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
I gotta ask him this. How the hell did Floyd get these fighters to take 80-20 or 90-10 deals? Or like different money, like different, because at that point he was certain contracts, like he 80 million, 80, 90, 120 million dollars. Like, good God.
Hey, when you a person of his stature and pays your dues, you can call the shots. But not only that, when you got the best team in boxing to negotiate them deals,
Yes, sir.
You can't be mad. You know,
Mhm.
people tell me, oh man, you know, when he first started doing exhibition, Floyd, he messing boxing up. How can you say that? The man is a
Paid
genius.
his
Leonard
deal.
is a genius.
Mhm.
If they had the opportunity to do that, they would do it too.
Mhm.
You know, the people that's hating on it.
Mhm.
You know, exhibition's been going on forever.
Yeah.
Muhammad
Jack
Ali
Dempsey did
was doing
one.
Right.
exhibition.
Jack Dempsey.
Right. You know, all the way back to it was a guy named Jack Two Ton. I can't remember his last name.
Oh,
He was
2-ton
wrestling
Tony Galento.
octopus. Yeah, he was wrestling octopuses and everything
Right.
as an exhibition and making money. So you can't be mad at that man for capitalizing on his skill set.
Mhm. And his
You can't.
brand. His brand's world known. So
They need to figure out how to do it themselves.
right.
You
Right.
know?
Right. I'm not gonna lie, man. It kind of threw me off at first. I'm like, man, what is he doing, man? Like, what is he doing? But now I see, I'm like, you know what? He getting his money. He enjoying his life. You know what I'm saying?
Entertainment.
And it's entertainment.
Entertainment.
Right.
Sports and entertainment go hand in hand.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Entertainment.
For sure, man. So I know people want me to ask you a whole lot of questions, man. Because of who you with and what you represent, they want to know a whole lot of questions. I'm gonna save it though. I want to get you to know a little bit more about you, man. So you was a hooper back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
I know you trying to be humble about it, but I seen the video when you was show the chin above the rim, man. Like, what was your career like? How did it start?
Man, I mean, I started playing basketball when I was about 4 or 5. Man.
Okay.
And you know, I had family members that played college, pro, and just kind of fell in love with the sport. You know, I used to go see my uncle play a lot. Aubrey Curry, they called him Reds, and back in the day, back in the '80s, he was killing them. He played for Alabama State in college, and to my knowledge, he still has all the scoring records from back then. But yeah, I just fell in love with it, man, and kept at it, man, and you know, played in the Boys and Girls Club, and you know, end up playing at Northwestern High School. You know, we won a state championship. Upset Walt Williams and his team. I know if Walt never ever heard, we always go back and forth about that. You know, and from there I ended up getting a lot of scholarships and had a scholarship out to Kansas. And went out there and played and came back home after Kansas going to transfer because at the time Larry Brown was the recruiting coach. He ended up getting fired, and they brought in Roy Williams from North Carolina. And so once they brought Roy Williams in, he came from Carolina. He was with, you know, he actually coached Michael Jordan at North Carolina. He was assistant coach with Dean Smith. You know, he brought some other players in, and so I ended up transferring out. Said, okay, I'll come back home. Was actually close to signing a deal with Georgetown. Actually, that was my number one school coming out of college. I mean, I'm sorry, coming out of high school, and just decided not to. I said, you know, I want to experience life when I was out. But Kansas was it was a heck of an experience. Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah. It was different.
It was different
know?
back then.
I mean, I had been places, but you know, Kansas is, you know, tumbleweed.
Yeah,
and,
different from
you know,
C.
but it was cool. You know, they had a rodeo. Just it was a different atmosphere. But it wasn't like it is now. You know, you got the racial tensions and everything. Everybody was super cool out there.
Right.
So yeah, I ended up excelling. I had signed a training camp deal with the New York Knicks and actually blew my knee out. Yeah. So that kind of, when I did that, that kind of like nullified that whole basketball thing. And, you know, I started, you know, with, you know, again, with Sean Bay all the time and boxing, and just boxing kind of took the place of basketball, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
it
what's
kind
up.
of took the place of basketball.
Yeah. Did you have a relationship with Lynn Bias? I saw you posting him a while back.
Yeah, that was my big brother there. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that was my guy there. Me and his brother Jay, that was one of my best friends and teammates.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, that was my guy. I learned a whole lot from a basketball standpoint from Lenny. Yeah, and you know, still in contact with his family to this day.
Oh, that's what's up.
You know, me and his brother Eric, we talk, you know, at least once a week, checking in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was a lot of the young generation don't know anything about Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
But I always tell people, if Lenny wouldn't have passed away,
Tell it.
we might not be talking about Michael Jordan the way we talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we would be talking about Mike, no doubt about it. But I don't know if we'd be talking about him the way.
And that's not just because he's from here. Like, I've heard other people in other cities say the exact same thing. Guys that would play with my uncle and my mom and stuff like that went to camps, like, say the exact same thing.
I have probably most of his games from Maryland on DVD.
Wow.
I got the 2 games he played against Jordan, when he played against Wake Forest, when he had 45 on Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Lynn was that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
It's always different seeing it on tape, but you saw that stuff in person.
Oh, yeah.
So what was like one of the most special things about Lynn's game to you?
Man, it's elevation. That jump shot.
That's what
I'm telling you, man. Like, nobody could block his jump shot. I don't care if you were 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't blocking the jump shot.
Right.
I mean, he had for a big man, he probably had the purest jump shot. I mean, you know, a lot of guys fade back and everything. He went straight up in the air. Straight up in the air. What nothing you could do about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've seen the tapes and it's like, man, that dude was vicious, but you know, I'm sure seeing it in person, it must have been like, yo.
Yeah.
Legendary.
I mean, he used to come to our practice because, you know, Lynn went to Northwestern. He graduated from Northwestern. Right. And then, you know, Maryland U was right across the street. So, you know, he would come over to our practice and, you know, be over the house. Me, him, and Jay would go, you know, to Columbia Park Rec Center and play. So, yeah.
Y'all ever go at it one-on-one?
Shit, I couldn't do no with Lynn.
The honesty, yo.
Keeping it real.
I used to throw him some alley-oops in the gym, and he'd throw me some.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, man.
That's beautiful.
But shit, you talking about somebody 6'8".
Mm-hmm.
Body chiseled up. I mean, couldn't nobody do nothing with him. And if he would have had the opportunity to play in the NBA, he would have been unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Would have been unstoppable. I mean, I look at the position. He probably would have played small forward and some power forward. I look at Karl Malone game. Karl Malone, everybody know he had that mid-range jump shot. His jump shot couldn't compare to Lynn at all. And he didn't have the hops that Lynn had.
Right.
So, and you see where Karl Malone's career went.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Lynn would have been at Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Boston just won the championship.
Just won the championship.
They still had Larry Bird, Danny Ainge,
Kevin McHale,
DJ, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Reggie Lewis before he passed. I mean, they would have been like Golden State.
For sure.
They would have been like Golden State.
So you saying if Lynn played, Jordan wouldn't have 6? Ain't no way.
Oh, hell
you
no.
starting shit.
Absolutely not.
Of course.
Absolutely not.
Uh-huh.
No. Not at all.
That's safe to say.
Yeah.
That's safe to say.
Yeah. That's
safe to say, man. So, I gotta get into some tough stuff. Because people been asking me, man. So Rolly got a fight coming up, right? And we was talking about.
You see how he's laughing? You see how I did the same thing?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. we was talking about it, man. Who Rolly fighting? Or can you not say?
We'll know shortly.
All right.
We'll know shortly.
Okay.
But it's going to be a name fighter.
Okay.
It'll be a name fighter. And I'll say this. It's going to be a very entertaining,
oh, God.
Not only entertaining fight,
right,
but leading up to the fight, it's going to be very entertaining.
I told you.
It's going to be very entertaining.
Yeah, okay. Enough said.
A lot of entertainment and a lot of fireworks.
A lot of fireworks, yeah. Enough said.
If you thought leading up to Tank fight was entertaining and fireworks, y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
So bad.
So bad. I mean, Rolly, but you know what though, man? I tell people, Rolly, where Rolly career is now, Rolly created that himself.
Right.
His personality, his character, he knows how to sell a fight, which a lot of fighters don't know how to do. Rolly talked this way into a championship fight.
Preach.
He sold himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people be like, "Oh, Rolly garbage." Rolly can actually fight, and I guarantee you, probably 85% of the fighters in his weight class, he would probably knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just ran into a tank.
Right. Not literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, Tank is just on another level with his skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. But you don't see none of them other fighters calling him out.
Right.
You ain't heard of Devin Haney call him out. Shakur Stevens call him out. Telefimo call him out.
Mm-hmm.
None of them dudes ain't calling him out. Lomachenko.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't none of them dudes calling him out at 140.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Because
Right.
one thing about him, he gonna have the gift of gab. He gonna bring that talk, but he gonna bring that smoke in that ring.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
know?
what we were saying. He saying Rolly, you know, he talked
He
that talk,
earned
but
it.
he definitely he can fight. He'll fight his ass off. He's
Yeah.
coming to get you.
And he ain't scared of nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I was telling him, I said, yo, at the money team, like he really earned his way.
That's
Like
right,
he
man.
really went Mayweather gym and sparred anybody. You got some guys that they walk with that persona and they try to do it bigger or
Mhm.
whatever, especially at Mayweather gym. But no, and then they get in there and they really don't show up, or they
Mhm.
just look like they trying to survive almost, but they still got in there and
Yeah.
talk trash. No, he really got in there. Like he went for it. He
Yeah.
went for it a few times.
And what
Like-
you see with Rolly, that's really him.
That's really
That's
him.
my
That's
daily.
not a persona.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People
that's
think,
not
oh, he's just
persona,
no,
yo.
that's Rolly. And you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
You know.
100%, man. So Tank saying he got a fight coming up in January here in DC.
Yeah, that's what Tank said.
Okay. No weight behind that one? Or that's just
We'll see.
okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
I got one.
Go ahead.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you think about the Russells keep on calling out Tank, and now Tweezy's calling him out saying to meet him at 40 or fight in DC and things like that? I don't know about that because I'm not sure. I mean, it was sell
If
here.
they want to hell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tank is on another level. I mean, and I don't think enough people really understand the level that Tank is on. And Tank ain't even brought out half of the stuff he got in his bag in that ring.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't had to.
Tried to tell me because I done seen it in the amateurs
had
all the way
to.
up to now. He ain't had to.
Tank can actually box,
Mm-hmm.
and Tank has a great IQ.
Mm-hmm.
But
Everybody.
that fight,
Everybody give me my props because I care how many times I,
I
done
just-
said it.
it got to make sense,
Right.
you know. And a lot of times, people that think a fight makes sense, they don't know the business. Again,
Right.
go back to the business. Does it make business sense for both sides and everybody involved?
Right.
Yeah, you got to make fights for the fans. Don't get me wrong. You got to do that. But it got to make sense for everybody involved,
Mhm.
particularly the people that's putting up the money,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
and the people going in there getting hit.
Right. For sure for them.
But I don't. That fight ain't gonna come to fruition.
Okay.
And it may not right now.
I don't think so
I can tell you
either.
that not right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so either.
I mean, Tank got bigger fish to fry right now.
Indeed. The big news and everybody talking
he
about
got,
Tank
he
and
got, he got
Ryan.
bigger fish to fry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say this: the deal is done with Ryan and Tank for the spring.
Spring 2023. in
It's
Vegas.
already signed.
Okay.
Yeah, I will say that definitely.
Was the negotiations for that fight as painful as people made it seem on social media? Or was
No, it was.
it was?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. Again, people don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but it wasn't the fighters. Again, it was not the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
But and it wasn't on Mayweather Promotions.
Right.
Either. You got other people involved that want more than they deserve, or, think they supposed to get. So that was the holdup. It wasn't the fighters. Both of the fighters want to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get it done, and they've done their part.
Right.
They've done their part.
Mm-hmm.
Catch weight and all.
Yeah.
Right.
They've agreed to everything on the terms. They've always agreed to everything on the terms,
Mm-hmm.
but now they've actually signed their part of the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight playing out when they finally get in the ring together?
Man, it's going to be a great fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ryan has a good boxing skill set. He's been down a few times, but he's gotten up and shown that he can get up off the canvas and win a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't been hit by nobody like Tank and be able to get up and somebody coming right back at him.
Mm-hmm.
But I give any fighter props that can get knocked down and get up and win a fight.
Right.
Going to be an exciting fight. I think it's going to be a technical fight.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, Tank is just he's going to be too much.
Yeah.
It's going to be too much. And the problem is Ryan has been known to get hit and get clipped. The fighters that have knocked him down and clipped him weren't really big power punchers.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine what can happen if somebody like Tank hit him and catch him. And make no mistake about it, Tank is going to catch him at some point. Now, the question is, can he take that punch?
Right.
And don't get me wrong, you know, Ryan got some pop with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, and as long as Tank don't get hit with anything he doesn't see coming, he'll be fine.
Right, this is what
that's the most dangerous punch in boxing.
Right.
Getting hit with a punch
you don't see coming.
But as long if he get hit with a punch he see coming, he's still gonna be fine.
Okay.
This is what I said before you came in. I said as the fight goes late, it gets worse for Ryan.
Oh, definitely.
And as the fight starts, I see it being like an after school fight. And you ain't gonna hear you're gonna hear, first it's gonna be this, it's gonna be inside it's not gonna be on the outside. It's gonna be really on the inside, working the C pattern, Tank figuring out things. But the problem that I see with Ryan, and I've seen it all through his career, and I think a big mistake was him leaving Eddie Reynoso, is that he has a gifted whipping hook. Can't take that from him. He has a gifted whipping hook. Mm-hmm. But he pulls
what
his
happens
chin
when
up,
you overthrow it and your chin
and
go
your
up?
chin go up, and he closes his eye, and he drops his right hand every time. Every time. Every time.
But see, you can do that against an
certain
average
levels.
or low-level fighter.
Right.
And as you're going up these levels, you're now going against a guy who had to adjust in sparring sessions, I've seen, since we were kids. Mm-hmm. And I honestly just don't see as time gets to round 6 and 7, things start to change. And all of a sudden you see Cal and Kenny go, is there anything we need to worry about? Nah. All right, hey, man, you're not working enough on the inside. When you're on the inside with them clinches, man, get under this boy, man. After that, stop walking this boy now, man. Let's go home. Don't get caught with nothing stupid. You're going to get desperate. You're going to get desperate. And you're going to start breaking them down. And the fight's going to start having Tank go forward.
Yeah, the longer the fight goes, it's to Ryan's disadvantage. Definitely to his disadvantage.
Right.
No doubt about that.
We got a question for you in the chat. It says, when is Tank going to announce his opponent for his fight in January, if that's something that's happening?
We don't know yet.
Okay, y'all heard it from the source. We don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
I'm not speaking for Money. I'm not speaking for Mr. DC. I'm saying this from Junior the Golden Boy's perspective. There's a lot of things that can happen. It could be so many things that happen in between that time before that fight. It's so it's probably seen fights change in 2 days before a card. I've seen it, and things change. So it just don't like things happen, yo. Things happen.
Yeah. For sure. But let's talk about your fighters though. So you got, you got Jaleel, you got the Soldier fighting for you, directly for you. Who else are you looking at signing? Do you have any new fighters you
I got a couple of fighters I got my eye on. Been in talks with a young kid, great young kid, out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Antoine Dorn, him and his dad, great guys. Mm-hmm. He was just out at the U.S. Olympic training camp, working. Great young kid, got a great future in boxing. So we've been in communication on a regular basis.
Okay.
Kobe's brother Jabali, Brady, who I definitely got to get a shout out to over in Barbados.
Right.
He's gonna be up next as far as Barbados.
Okay.
So yeah, and I got a couple others up my sleeve.
Yeah, right.
I keep them up my sleeve.
That's right.
People can sleep on me.
Exactly.
That's what I want them to do.
Right. So let me ask you. So when you're going to recruit fighters, is Floyd and Lynn, are they sending you guys, or are these guys that you're finding on your own?
I'm finding them.
Okay.
Yeah. No,
okay.
I'm finding them. Yeah.
Okay.
you know, I keep my ear out there, keep my
Mhm.
ears and eyes out there. You know, I mean, people will call me. I get calls all the time. Hey, you know, can you check out this fighter? And or I get a DM. Hey, you know, I'm a boxer from so and so. I can't tell you how many DMs I get. I probably get at least 4 or 5 a day. I mean,
Mhm.
from all over the world, Russia,
Mm.
Africa, you know, everywhere,
Right.
you know, and you just kind of, you know, you just gotta do your homework, you
Yeah.
know, look and see, you know, I go to their
Mm-hmm.
social media page and I'll Google their name and, you know, check them out because you never know. You might have a diamond in the rough,
For sure.
you know.
For sure. So what are some of the things you're looking at when you look for that diamond in the rough, somebody that could possibly be the next world champion?
Well, of course they got to be able to fight.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be able to fight. Um, but to me, I look at character,
Okay.
um, the kind of person they are. Um, you know, those things are important to me. Um, you know, if you can box and fight, you can box and fight, and you can be brought up and taught up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's hard to teach character.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more important to me. And I always tell people that I speak to when it comes to Jaleel.
Mm-hmm.
When I first met Jaleel, you know, I watched him when I came into the gym. First time meeting him, he was actually in the ring sparring. Looking at him, he's 15. I didn't even know he was 15 at the time. I thought he was much older because his skill set was high.
Mm-hmm.
And but what drew me to him even more when he got out the ring and me and him talked. And, you know, his whole character, everything, you know, was on point. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was very respectful. I mean, knew what he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wanted to talk about life more than boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so things like that, you know. Of course, you got to be able to fight. You
Oh
know,
yeah, of course. That's the business, you know.
but yeah, I look at character. Character is important.
For sure.
Very very important to me. You know, I don't surround myself with anybody with negative characters. My circle is very small.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if a person ain't loyal, can't have them around me. You know,
Indeed.
loyalty is very very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Very important. That's number one.
For sure.
You know,
For sure.
yeah.
Do you get a chance to travel much outside of the East Coast or the DC area to look at fighters?
Yeah, I have. I have.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an idea I wanted to talk to you about after off the air. We're gonna talk about off the air.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
something that I think I told you about it. I think it would be cool. We'll talk about it off the air. 'Cause I
I
ain't
got
trying to
you.
give it up because people be listening.
Oh,
And say, "Oh, that's a
yeah.
great idea. I'm gonna do it," and I'm
You're
not
right.
doing
You're
that.
right. You're
I'm
right.
not doing that, man.
That's
So,
why I'll tilt my hat on who I've been seeing and who I'm talking to. And
Right.
you
Right,
can't do
right.
that because they'll take it and run with it.
just
Trust
run with
me.
it. I'm telling you, and it'll be all their idea, and they did it, and I came up with it. It's like, man,
Yeah.
come on now. Yeah. So Jaleel got a fight coming up. You know, last time he was on here, he said that.
Yeah, he got a fight coming up December the 16th in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Opponent to be announced. But he's in the gym working. We started training camp last week, and he'll be ready.
For sure.
He'll be ready.
Who else is fighting on that card?
I'm not actually sure everybody that's fighting on the card. It's a dark card.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll be fighting then, and you know, we'll get him right back.
For
Get him
sure.
right back. You know, his career, he's fighting 6 rounders now.
Mhm.
Probably fight one more 6, then we may look to move him up to 8 rounders.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Good
you
for
know,
him.
his career is going the way me, Lynn, and Floyd plan on it to go. You know, a lot of people might be getting a lot more fights than him, but everybody does things different. We
Right.
have a certain plan for Jaleel, and I always tell people like, "Oh man, he ain't fighting. What he doing? Well, don't worry about what we doing over here." I always tell people, we'll see you at the finish line, and we gonna see who did what and who got what and who where at the finish line.
Indeed. And he got the best team. You talking about you and Lynn?
Regular job, you might disagree with something with your boss.
That's you, yes, sir.
You know, I mean, people blow it up because it's a professional sport. But if you really look at it, it's called life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not going to agree on everything. You're going to disagree on things. You might get mad. You might curse each other out.
Yep.
You know, me and Bernard were talking the other day, Jaleel's dad, and
Yeah.
we were talking in the gym, and somebody asked him, you know, about me and his relationship, and you know, like, man, we like brothers, you know.
Mhm.
We argue sometimes, and Bernard gave him that. He said we might curse each other out, and then we'd be like, all right, I'll see you at the gym at 4:00.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that happens,
Mhm.
you know.
But that's
That's
also
love.
called maturity.
Maturity.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, Tank is the cash cow of boxing.
Mhm.
To me, ranked number 1 in boxing right now.
Mhm.
What more do people want? Yeah, I know people want to see the different fights and all that. They're going to come.
Mhm.
He can't fight everybody at one time,
Right.
you know.
Mhm.
And boxing, what they got to understand, it's not like it was back in the day.
Mhm.
It's different. Social media, pay-per-view, all that has changed how boxing is now from a business standpoint.
And the pay.
Yeah.
Because guys was fighting back then. Sometimes I always bring up this reference. Hector Camacho, Leonard, they used to do the pre-fight like documentary or
Mhm.
whatever on HBO. Larry Merchant says, now Hector Camacho's looking to get back into the ring after having a slow year last year of only fighting 3 times. This is him after a
Right.
world title. He
Yeah.
fought 3 times. And even when he fought 4 times, it was like he didn't fight enough. He should have fought
Right.
5 or 6.
And
That's how
fighters
it
used to
was.
fight more back then, but
Yeah.
it's different now because it's a lot more money involved,
Mhm.
and it's a lot more people involved as well.
Right.
So again, it has to make sense for everybody, and everybody that's invested in it or whatever, they got to agree on what terms or what deal they want.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
what is basically coming down to me, it looks like the in the ring part is easy.
Oh, that's the easy
The
part.
hard is getting to that point. Getting to
Definitely,
that point is the hardest part.
definitely, and
Mhm.
that's what people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. So what are you guys looking for Tank after this Ryan Garcia fight? People calling Lomachenko. They want Devin Haney. They want Shakur. You know.
I mean, honestly, Lomachenko don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Tank will hurt Lomachenko. I really think he'll hurt Lomachenko.
Okay.
Yeah, Lomachenko too. He better stay away from Tank.
Mhm.
That's just my
I think
opinion.
he's too small. Like
He's too small, man, and he's getting up in age now.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in a perfect world, Devin, Shakur, Telefimo, what's the guy Devin just beat?
Kambosos.
Oh, Kambosos.
All them need to fight each other. And the top dog out of all them, come see Tank.
Got you. I got you.
They need to prove, and don't get me wrong, Devin is proven to be a good fighter. I mean, he beat Kambosos twice. He can fight him 100 times. He's going to beat him 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Tailor made for him.
Mm-hmm.
But him, Shakur, to me would be a great fight. To me, it's a pick 'em. I couldn't even tell you who
Shakur
would win
and
that
Devin.
fight. I just couldn't.
Right.
You know, I think Shakur is too. I think he's too big for Lomachenko. Lomachenko might give him a little problem if he's still on his toes in boxing,
Mm-hmm.
but he can't go toe to toe with Shakur.
With Shakur, right.
Unless he catch Shakur on a bad night, Shakur not focused
Mm-hmm.
for whatever reason, you know. But yeah, to me, Devin and Shakur are the two top fighters.
Right.
That, you know, at some point, Tank, he's gonna get in the ring with him.
Mm-hmm.
At some point.
That's the thing that, you know, some people been saying, you know, they're like, Devin got all the belts, but it's like Tank is the face of boxing.
Exactly.
So it's like who is really, you know, what's the bargaining power there?
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you what I tell young fighters.
Mm-hmm.
If you become a world champion in boxing, and I've said this for years, once you become a world champion, you're always going to be considered a world champion, no matter what.
No matter what, in the
It
books.
doesn't matter if you lose the belt or not.
Mm-hmm.
After you get a belt, it's about making as much money and capitalize on as much you can with less fights. So when you leave the sport of boxing,
I can
you
talk.
got a boatload of money and you have all your faculties up here that you can enjoy the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things that I respect most about Floyd.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd capitalized on it, became a billionaire, got all his faculties, and enjoying life.
Having fun.
But people forget all of the amateur tournaments, the spawn sessions,
Sacrificing, yeah.
the broken hands, the
Getting
bloody
cheated out of the
noses, getting
Olympics.
cheated out of the Olympics, the Bob Arum situations.
Yeah.
People
He
forget about
betted
that.
on himself.
And then people forget about it. They just see the money part. They forget about
Man,
that
they forget
part.
about the blood, sweat, and tears and the hard work and sacrifice.
Coming in as the underdog against Corrales, the Castillo fights, the Jesus Chavez fights.
How many Thanksgiving and Christmas and birthdays you missed with
Miss.
the family because you had to go train. You were in training camp. You couldn't eat. You know, a lot of people. It's a lot. And you talking about as a kid.
Yep.
You know,
his family members say, my family members say, like, hey, still couldn't have this candy. Or his Floyd's documentary, it was like they all at this barbecue, for family barbecue, and all the kids getting this candy, and Floyd didn't touch the candy, but Big Floyd comes out the door. Nah, you know he can't have no candy. Why are you even trying to give it to him in front of him?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Like that.
Yeah.
Don't get that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you being around Floyd most of his career, what's one of his favorite fights that you seen him in?
Wow. I would say a toss-up between De La Hoya and when he fought Diego.
Diego.
That Diego fight, man. And I thought Diego was going to give him a better fight than he did. But that De La Hoya fight and that Diego fight, when he beat Diego the way he beat him, ain't nobody beating him in boxing. Nobody beating him.
Because they thought Floyd was
Diego's
going to get hurt.
my guy. I mean, I love Diego, man.
And
May
they
he
thought
rest in
Floyd was
peace.
going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He was the under. They was like, they had him getting knocked out early. Because what he did to Angel Man Freddy, what he did to Robert Garcia, people forget that. When Chico Corrales was coming up, y'all, what he was doing to Angel Man Freddy, this is prime Angel Man Freddy.
Yeah.
This is prime Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia, the nice guy y'all see on YouTube, but dude was vicious.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Garcia was vicious.
Yeah.
He demolished them like nothing happened.
Yeah. Diego was in a few of our camps with Sean Bay.
Okay.
And that's how we all got cool. Him and his wife, Michelle. Man, Michelle, she could cook, man. I remember she used to cook and bring that food in there. But, man, Diego was a heck of a guy, man. We lost him. We lost a great fighter. Great fighter. But when Floyd beat him, the way he beat him, I thought, ain't nobody beating Floyd. Nobody ever beating him. Yeah.
For sure.
I got to go to this one Tank question and back to that what you just said. People had the nerve to say, and I'm not saying this because of my relationship with them. I'm saying this straight, this is how I feel. People had the nerve to say, oh, all of him selling out arenas is only because of Floyd. Tank was doing that in the amateurs. When he was like coming back home from tournaments, they would have these fights. Everybody would show up in Baltimore, or he would his last amateur fight, he had rappers coming out with him, all a bunch of stuff. You know, Twin and Floyd just maximize. DC, Lynn, they just, he already got this fan base and he knocking people out. Now we put the money team on top of that. Let's make this sandwich.
Yeah, I think with Tank's situation, I mean, it was a match made in heaven, number one, because, you know, let's face it, before Tank signed with Mayweather Promotion, Tank was still fighting locally.
Right here.
Right.
Convention center.
And
all that.
let's be honest, you know, if he wouldn't have signed with Mayweather Promotions, where would he be at today?
That's fair.
People
hoping to get a call.
That.
Maybe hoping to get a call for a big fight, maybe. Be undefeated, like 17-0 or something, waiting to see if he's going to get a call for a big fight.
But we know what happened when he signed with Mayweather Promotions. And so when I say it's a match made in heaven, he needed Mayweather Promotions. Mayweather Promotions needed him.
Like I said, the sandwich.
Yeah.
It was a sandwich. Everything went well.
Yeah. So, you know, and let's face it, everything that Floyd touches turns to platinum.
Indeed.
I mean, let's face it. Everything he touches. So without Mayweather Promotions, who knows where Tank would be at? You know, but in all fairness to Tank, Tank has became the star he's become because people love knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Tank is a knockout artist.
Mm-hmm.
Tank has positioned himself within the rap community.
Mm-hmm.
That's helped because of social media.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's both sides that's helped each other.
For sure.
Now I gotta ask you to take a step aside, bro. All right, so you said the whole De La Hoya fight. I gotta disagree with that one. And I'm gonna tell you, I always say the Castillo fight, and I say
Castillo fight too. Yeah.
I say Jesus Chavez fight for me,
Mhm.
Diego Corrales, and then the Gatti fight. Those three for me, and the Cotto fight. That one too. Those four, I love watching them tapes.
Okay, that
But
was a great
the
fight.
the De La Hoya one, he made me mad 'cause I felt like he could have beat De La Hoya worse,
He could have.
and I don't know why he
But
didn't.
and the reason why I said De La Hoya, it to me was that coming out fight for Floyd.
True. Very
Because
true.
Oscar was the golden boy. He
Yep.
was the chosen one.
Yep.
He was the pretty boy. He was the, the face.
Mm-hmm.
And so the genius that Floyd and Leonard are, hey, fine, we'll be the bad guy. Because guess what? I'm going to capitalize on being the bad guy because people are going to pay, my fans are going to pay to see me fight. The haters and the people that don't like me
I
are
want to
going
see
to
me
pay
get
to
hurt.
hope that I lose.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so that fight there is what catapulted him to a whole nother level.
Right.
And me, I'm saying it off a technical, like, because I'm that.
Yeah.
You know me. But basically, and two, the biggest thing for me was people got to understand. I remember the great James Baker telling us, like, man, yeah, he was having hand problems in the amateurs.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. So when you're turning pro back then, people gotta understand the luxury now. Like, back then, it really wasn't no choice of gloves. Like, all the way back to the 60s to like the early 2000s.
Whatever they had on
It
that
was
table,
what you had on that table is what it was. Like, when it was Muhammad Ali's time, it was GNS, Everlast, and
It
Reyes.
wasn't many.
It wasn't many. It was like Sayer. It was Reyes, GNS, and Everlast.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Floyd came around and then foam gloves came out in 96, people didn't really like the foam gloves. Some people didn't even like the thumb attachment for real. So it was just, 9 times out of 10, you look at all of Floyd's fights when he's coming out, he's fighting in horse heads.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting in Reyes. By the time he got to Grant, and then as he started to get to the orthopedic Grant joints, people got to understand, by that time, you got to think of his mindset. Damaging your hands and I've done it, is not fun at all. It's not fun at all. The healing process is a nuisance. But now you got to also think, he's knocking these guys out, but he's damaging his hands. Even when he fought in other places, you start seeing, like when he fought Gatti, when Sean Bay, all these stuff, he's wearing winning. He's wearing winning. He fought Zach, he's wearing winning.
Mm-hmm.
When he got to Grants and everything, by that time, you got to think, by that time, he's thinking, okay, you know what? I already done paid my dues, I done did this, I done did that. So now I'm just going to, y'all don't like me? Cool. It's still $5. He basically took remember when Ali turned pro, he wearing all the white and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous George, the wrestler, told him to do that. He told him to do that. He said, you know what? Come out in all white. People gonna really hate you when you do that. And then call yourself pretty. And he was like, and Ali looked at him, he was like, for real? He said, yeah. He said, because either way, when you start beating on people, they either gonna like you. And you gotta think back then, calling yourself pretty and all that. So that wasn't like, they're like, oh, they either gonna like you or they're gonna pay $5 to see you get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's a butt in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And people gotta understand that turn that Floyd made at that time. Like, he paid a lot of dues to turn that corner and be like, okay, you know what? This is where I have to make this change now. Right. And make these fights. And I don't think people understand that part.
And not only that, but Floyd has opened up the door for so many other fighters to make the kind of money that they're making now as well. Fighters wasn't making that kind of money back in the day. Mm-hmm. He opened the door for that.
Only a few. Tyson, De La Hoya started making that money. Before that, it was Ray.
Vander Holyfield.
Mm-hmm.
Riddick.
Sweet Pea a little bit. Mildred made a little bit of it. But you had guys like Chavez wasn't even making it. Larry Holmes wasn't even making it for real. People understand, like, when y'all heard him say, what was it? I was in that room with the Don King negotiations and Carl. He said a name that y'all probably didn't even catch. He said Carl King. It's like those negotiations back then, all these different fights, only a few of those guys, like Derrick Cole. I remember Derrick Cole fighting over Carr on those cards.
Yep, Tuesday
That
night fight, Friday night fight.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Don't
Sean
start.
O'Grady.
Man,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. I missed them fights. But like, yeah, man, when Floyd made that turn and started, even though some young fighters these days, I don't care how I say it, some of y'all want to do the Floyd thing and y'all ain't earned that yet. You think that you could just, oh yeah, I want to call these shots with instead of paying some dues.
You
can't do it.
A lot of these young fighters in their camp, corner, whatever you want to call it, they think their fighters have arrived. No, you haven't arrived yet. You got work to do. Not saying you can't get there, but it's levels. It's levels to it.
Right. Who is the next, in your opinion? Who is the next Floyd Mayweather? There's always the next coming up behind the great. So who's the next great? Next Floyd.
In a lot of sports, I would say it's always the next. In boxing, it will never be another Floyd Mayweather.
I was about to say that.
No.
That's like saying it's gonna be another Ray or another Ali. It's like each one sits on their own throne for a certain reason.
Yeah, but when it comes to that, you got Ali, you got Ray and everybody, but nobody will surpass him. Now, yeah, you might have a fighter that goes undefeated, past 50 and 0. You might have that. But has he fought 28 world champion or former world champion at the time of his career?
Got a majority going to be Hall of Famers.
Look at the fights that they fought and the fighters that they fought. And look at the money.
Right.
It will never be another. It will never be another Floyd Mayweather from that standpoint.
For sure. I got a question for you. Me and my dad, we talk about this a lot. Floyd and Pacquiao. What took so long? Hold on, stop. What took so long and why didn't it happen again?
I'm not dealing with this.
Again, the fighters wanted it.
Right.
It was a lot of back, with the negotiations and with the networks and, a fight of that man. Put it this way. The bigger the fight is, the more, I wouldn't say problems.
Right.
But the more people that got their hand out, or want to be a part of it, that or that art is a part of it. So, the bigger the fight, the more complicated the negotiation can be. Again, the fighters, they cool.
Yeah, so
they cool
from the jump they wanted it from the very beginning, and it was negotiation.
Yeah.
And then we finally got the fight, and then people was calling, people clamoring for no, do it again. I got a lot of Filipino friends. Yeah, I watched that fight with all my Filipino friends. They wanted that rematch. They still want it to this day. They want Floyd and Pacquiao to rematch at the age of 60. They want that fight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it don't really make sense now.
Yeah, never. I would never want that fight now.
Now, they wanted to do an exhibition. And get 50 men each. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah.
But and that's just part of the sport. Time with boxing, timing is everything. With everything,
right? So let me ask you. So I know what your answer's gonna be, but in your opinion, theoretically, if Prime Pacquiao, Prime Floyd met, does that fight even go the distance?
Don't entertain this dude.
Stop. My God. Stop. This is serious.
That's the unfortunate part.
It goes the distance.
Okay.
That's the unfortunate part.
It goes distance, and Floyd would definitely outpoint him.
Yep.
Right.
But I don't think it would be a knockout. I mean, if you really look at it, neither one of them were a knockout artist, so to speak. If the knockout came, it came. Floyd is a technical fighter. He's going to break your ass down. And he's going to outpoint you. So that fight would definitely go the distance. Floyd, it would be a unanimous decision.
See, I was thinking, me and my dad talked about, he said, man, I think Floyd might have got him in their prime. It might have put Pacquiao out, ran him to the right hand.
At what weight, though? At what weight? Like, because we're not talking 47 here. We got to be talking 35.
We talking about prime Floyd, prime Pacquiao.
So what we thinking, 30, 35?
30,
crushes
35.
Him. I'm sorry, in my opinion, he crushes him.
Who?
40
Floyd
maybe?
crushes him. Ray has gloves on. You
talking
about Floyd?
I think he would dominate. I think it would be a dominating fight, but it would be more of a technical fight.
But
Okay.
this is what I think.
And the reason why, because you gotta understand, Pacquiao's never been a standstill fighter,
Mm-hmm.
moving a lot. So yeah, if he got him running into something, that's something different.
Mm-hmm.
But Pacquiao back then was a different Pacquiao too.
Exactly.
Right.
He was still what people were calling him back then. If you're saying prime Pacquiao, yes, he was knocking guys out, but he was called a one-handed fighter. He was like, all he had was a left hand. He didn't have his hook until like around the Hatton time. And Freddie had to break him out of that because it would be hot, feint, hot, left hand. And then
he was doing a lot of bouncing around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
right into stuff.
So
right into
it's
stuff.
possible he could run into something and get clipped with something he did. Because when he got knocked out by
Marquez,
he never saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm about to mention. Manny Stewart called that years ago when he fought Eric Morales. He said the problem with Pacquiao that I don't see nobody using is that he hops, he dedicates himself, he commits. When he commits, that's a good thing, but you gotta stay. You should stay there and throw the right hand and go out the outside. He should run into it every time.
And he timed it perfectly. I mean, just like when Tank caught Rolly. Tank timed that.
Mm-hmm.
When he caught Barrios.
Mm-hmm.
Timing. Everything was timing.
Man, that Barrios fight, man, I love watching that fight because
I'm sorry, when he knocked out Leo
Santa Cruz.
Oh, Leo.
That was all
God.
timing. Leo popped that jab out there, popped it out there again, knew he was coming the third time,
right.
And he came up under.
Uh-huh.
That was all timing.
And then Rolly did the same thing. Threw a brick, threw another brick, and then caught.
Yep.
But that Barrios fight, Barrios couldn't have fought a better fight.
No, he couldn't.
Barrios could.
You gotta take your hat off.
You gotta take your hat off. Because I know I've watched this famous since the amateurs.
Nobody else would have beat him that night.
Nobody would have beat him that night. Right. Nobody. And I don't think people understand that. Yeah. Like, Barrios' family is monsters. Like, they can fight. His sister's a dog. He a dog. So when he fought, I knew people was texting me, telling me, like, yo, he's really focused. He's always been focused, but he's tightening up so many things and such. It's going to be really good to see him. He's going to put on his best performance. I said, I hope so, because he's going to need to. Like, I really want him to do well. And he fought beautifully. I did. Man, I stood up and gave both of them a standing ovation. That was beautiful. The way Tank adjusted and the way Mario fought.
But it goes back to what I said earlier in the show, Tank's IQ. Mm-hmm. How many fighters would have had the knowledge to know what he was going to do in timing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is that the fight where Floyd went up to him in the corner and was like, I got you down. I got you down. You're behind.
He was like, what?
Yeah, he was like,
what? For
real? Like, has Tank always had, okay, all right, bet, I'm going to flip my switch and go get you now? Because it seemed like Tank could flip that switch and go get you immediately. Yeah. Were you there at that fight?
Huh?
So did you go to that fight?
Oh, yeah, I was sitting right behind Tank corner. I was sitting right behind Calvin and Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Yep, literally. Okay.
That's what's that atmosphere? I ain't been to a Tank fight yet. What's the atmosphere like? Man. Especially being part of the build up, man.
Whew. How can I put it to words? I'll tell you this, in Atlanta, Black Hollywood.
Okay.
Black Hollywood, man. Mm-hmm. The entertainment community love them. Mm-hmm. The athletes love them. It's a who's who at Tank fight.
Right.
Yeah, it's a who's who. I mean, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was excited when he posted fighting back in DC, but we don't know if that's even true or if it's gonna happen. But how do we get Tank back home, man? And where will we even possibly have that fight?
I mean, number one, Tank gonna sell out wherever he go.
Mm-hmm.
He fought at Royal Farms Arena at home back in the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he would get a big championship fight back at home. Mm-hmm. I don't even know if it's an arena that can hold such a magnitude fight. Mm-hmm. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That's what I was getting at, because I don't think we have an arena big enough to hold.
It has to be a Wizards right now, because it can't be an MGM Grand. That one only holds 1,300. It's too small, like 3,000. Right. So he can do George Mason. That one only does 7,000. It has to be Wizards at best.
And I mean, you got to understand again. Tank is a cash cow boxer. Mm-hmm. So Tank is fighting in arenas now.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It got to be 20,000+.
Of course.
You got to hold 20,000+.
Or maybe Nationals, fight at the Nationals arena. where the Nationals play.
Outside.
Yeah, it would have to be. Of course, it have to be spring. It have to be
Seasonal.
something.
And that
but
would have to be a
yeah.
mega fight.
Right. Right.
You know.
So, in your opinion, mega fight for Tank, who is it?
Here for that scenario,
Uh-huh.
For
Gary,
here,
one of the Russells.
Somebody
It
that we
has
could
to
get
be.
here to sell out mega pay-per-view.
It has to be one of the Russells. That's the only thing I could think of personally. That's it.
why the Russells? Damn the commentator.
Now,
Right,
so-
yeah, right. Yeah, get him.
Why the Russells?
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because, and it's not my relationship to him, it's because at that point, he did well at the MGM. He did okay. So in my opinion, at that point, those people probably gonna show out but the riot that may happen for both sides, that's the only issue I worry about.
I'm not worried about that. My concern would be from a fan base standpoint, because we talking business first.
Right.
Understood.
How many people do you think
One of the
on the
Russells will
Russell
pull.
side can bring in to a fight?
And we got to be honest. I understand where you coming because they ain't like he did. George Mason with 7. He did the MGM. I know where you're going at. Like he did MGM Grand, which is only
And Gary
1,300
had,
to
don't get me wrong,
3,000.
and I mean Gary's a great fighter,
Heck yeah.
no doubt about it. But they didn't even sell out the MGM at home. And how many people that? Oh,
13 to 3. Okay.
huh?
1,300 to 3,000. I think.
Exactly.
Let me double check that.
Yeah. So again, it gotta make sense.
Gotta make sense.
It gotta make sense.
For sure. For sure.
You know. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, if Antoine is the one to fight 140,
140, yeah.
so if at some point Antoine get a belt and the fight makes sense, then yeah, you know, no doubt. I don't. This is me speaking. I don't think that fight would happen here. I think that fight would be a Barclays Center type of fight.
Right.
Yeah, at its highest capacity, it can host 3,000. So I was right.
Yeah. You know, I just wish we had somewhere we can bring. You know, we got Madison Square Garden up there. You said the Barclays Center. We need to bring that to the DMV, man.
I agree, but we working
will.
on some things.
Okay.
We working
Right,
on
you got
some
stuff
things.
up your sleeve.
Yeah, we working. We got a couple of things, you know, coming down the pike. You know, again, you know, I'm from DC, Leonard from DC, so you know, we want to build some good relationships with you know.
I didn't even know Lynn was from DC for the longest until like recent. I said he from DC. I didn't know that. That's what's up.
Born and raised, Bennett Road.
Yeah, man. So you know, Money Team. What else y'all got? You know, new maybe coming up.
You know, 2023. I mean, yeah, 2023 is going to be a great year of boxing. You all are going to see a lot of the fights that people want, a lot more fights. So I'm really looking forward to 2023. You know, Jaleel should really come into his own in 2023 and take his skill set and career to another level. No doubt about that. It's no doubt in my mind that he's going to become a world champion.
Right.
And we're going to put him in a position to become a world champion. And I believe that he's going to become a world champion in multiple weight classes. You know, for Kobe, you know, right now Kobe is 16-1. The only fight he lost to was to King Tug in a title elimination bout in a split decision. No doubt about it. He's ready right now to fight for a world title. And the fighters that hold the belts at 126, no doubt in my mind, Kobe could beat them.
Okay.
And I'm not just saying that because he's my fighter. I know what kind of fighter he is compared to the kind of fighters that they are. And he's a pressure fighter. He'll get them out of there. So we're going to position him to hopefully maybe even fight for a belt in 2023.
Okay.
He has the whole Barbados island behind him. So yeah, Kobe he's definitely ready right now for a title shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you guys looking to sign? You guys have like a quota for next year, looking to sign new fighters, get new guys under the banner. You know, try and give some hope and maybe some inspiration to some guys watching. Maybe they could be a part of the Money Team soon.
I mean, you know, reach out to me, you know, and hey, show me what you got.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. You know, my door is open.
100%,
You
man.
know,
100%.
DC Sports Management is always open to, scout new talent, look at new talent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm working on a new project I have called Part of My Dreams 2, which is going to be a youth mentoring program that I'm gonna focus on um, life skills, social skills,
Okay.
and mental health and behavior health
Got
in
you.
the youth. So
Okay.
I'm putting that together right now, and so yeah, I mean, any fighters that are interested, want to chop it up and have me take a look at them, hey, reach out to me on IG. You know, yeah,
That
For
speaks
sure.
volume because I've seen a lot of promoters. They say that, but they don't.
yeah.
They not
No, I'm not.
managers. They
I'm not
not.
arrogant. I'm not stuck up. I'm a people person. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was
Yeah.
great having you on today. Do you want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Man, shout out to my Mayweather promotion family, of course. Leonard, Floyd, Kenny, Nicole, Crystal. My fighters, Jaleel, Kobe, Jabali. Shout out to Antoine Dorm Jr. and his dad. Of course, my family.
Mhm.
And I couldn't do none of this without God.
Indeed.
Definitely the center of my life and guides me every day
Mhm.
through everything. So
Right.
yeah, man, we just gonna keep getting it, and shout out to all my supporters,
Mhm.
that supported me, motivated me. Shout out to my best friend Sean Bay Mitchell, of course.
Mhm.
And we just, man, I'm gonna keep grinding.
For sure,
I
man.
keep grinding, man. Stay positive, keep positive people around me, and
Mhm.
stay out the way.
Indeed, man. It's always good to see
Right.
you in good
And I
spirits.
appreciate you all for having me,
Uh huh.
man. I follow what y'all do, man, and
Yeah.
y'all do a great job. Um, Professional. This whole setting y'all got, man, is state of the art.
Mhm.
And I always like to see our young black brothers doing positive things.
Right.
Kennard, what he's doing, man, with Kenichi Bear, man, I'm telling you, this kid is amazing.
Yeah.
I posted on social media, on my social media. You all support this kid, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He got hybrid earphones, got a lot of other new stuff coming out.
Mhm.
Support. We gotta support. We got, and I put this in my post. We gotta start supporting our young black youth
Mhm.
that are doing positive things and doing it the right way in the community,
Mhm.
and stop glorifying and supporting the negative stuff
Mhm.
and the nonsense going
Yeah.
on out here.
Mhm.
We gotta. It's a mindset, and
Mhm.
we gotta get to these young people, and some of them ain't even young,
Right.
but we gotta try to reverse their mindset with that, man.
Right.
We got to,
Mhm.
because we got a lot of talent in our community.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start supporting them. We got to back them. We got to keep motivating them and
Mhm.
get behind them.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man.
sir.
But
Creating
I
opportunities.
definitely
Yeah.
appreciate y'all having. Y'all know my phone.
Uh huh.
Open the eye.
Yes, sir.
Social media, whatever.
Uh huh.
24/7.
For sure,
Yes, sir.
man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
I'm happy you came out. I'm proud. I'm thankful. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
No
This was
problem.
great, man. Before we let you go, one of our sponsors, El Paso, who brought the food drop last week, they
Yeah.
got a T-shirt for you. They wanted to give to you.
Oh, okay. My guy.
El Paso
Yeah,
Root
man.
Big
Wine.
I'm telling
Roy.
you. Hey, their food, y'all gotta go to El Paso Mexican restaurant, man. And
Yeah.
Alexandria
In
in
Yup.
Alexandria.
Virginia,
Yeah.
man, they got some good food.
Yeah,
They got
man.
real good food. So y'all support these people, man. These young people, man, they need our support.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get behind them, because if we don't, who gonna get behind them?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely appreciate that.
Oh, for sure, man. For
Yeah.
sure. Well, guys, this is Derrick, DC Curry, Slipping Kind of
Legend himself.
Podcast. Thank you so much for coming to the show, man.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Right. We're going
Yes,
to cut
sir.
to a quick break real quick and be right back with you guys.
And I'm gonna come back and cook him.
I was born for this. always knew I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. On for this, gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
still using these to play games? Or these to listen to music? What if I told you these are gaming headphones? And you can use these to listen to music. So get rid of these two. And get the new HYBERNATION 5s by Kenichi. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter. Color RGB and extreme bass mode.
The HYBERNATION 5s are just to you.
I was born for this. Always know I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the voice for the youth, won't stop.
And I can keep this, I can keep the bass on, right? And I can stay on even when I'm on the game. Oh, that.
Using these to play games? Or these to listen to music? What if I told you these are gaming headphones? And you can use these to listen to music. So get rid of these two. And get the new HYBERNATION 5s by Kenichi. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter. Color RGB and extreme bass mode.
The HYBERNATION 5s are just to you.
I was born for this. Always know I was the one, didn't know when my time was gonna come. Born for this. Gotta be the
Let's go, Special K.
Welcome back to the Slipping Kind of Podcast. We just had the great Derrick DC Curry on here, man. We learned a lot from that guy. I hope you guys learned a lot from him too. It's more to boxing than just the fighters. I hope y'all heard that. It's not the fighters. The fighters want to fight. It's the business. It's the business. So that was great, man. Thank you, DC, for coming in here. And we'll probably have him back in here again soon. But how you feel about that one, bro?
Man, I mean, always known this legend, always watched him, you know, growing up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, dang, man, but I now look grown up and he in here as one, I guess, and proud of us for all of this and everything.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, man. But, man, the stuff that we were learning, I just hope people in the chat would sit there and say, give me my props. Because some of this stuff I kept saying, and they were trying to cook me for it on social media or cook me in the chat or say, oh, I'm not trying to do this. Like, not once. Like, the whole Bud thing. They said I was fanboying for Bud, even though I was sitting there saying, man, Earl could hurt Bud badly. But I'm sitting there saying, oh, he just wants transparency. He asked for transparency. He ain't asking Earl. He asking Al Heyman.
Right.
So that means Al Heyman held that up. They got nothing to do with Earl.
Right. And what it seems like to me is the fighters aren't involved as much in the negotiations as we think they are on the outside.
From my experience, yes and no. Like, of course, he's the boss. The fighter's the boss. He could say if he wants to fight or not.
Right. Of course, yeah.
You know, but a lot of times I have always seen from when I was a little kid to now, no, we can't say who Jalil's next opponent is. It's to be announced. And it's more or less because remember we was talking about pulling the reins back on a fighter? Because they'll fight anybody, they'll fight anytime, they'll fight anywhere. It's like, you don't talk. I'll do the talking, you fight. Because and a lot of times it's a former fighter who's saying this, who's now a trainer because he done seen so much bullshit.
Right.
So, you know, it'd be that. But it'd be, you know, they saying this. You know, hey, and then, you know, when I was around Jared, I see it, you know, with being in the gym. Yeah, like I remember when he was supposed to fight Jojo Dan. It wasn't supposed to be Jojo Dan, it was supposed to be Jorge Cotto. It was supposed to be Coda, and Coda, you know, that fell out, and then it was Jojo Dan. It was this. So it's always things going on behind those scenes. It's a lot that goes into getting, especially these days, getting these fighters. It'd be stuff about the ring. I said that multiple times. You heard him confirm it. It'd be stuff about gloves. It'd be stuff about ring. It'd be stuff about who's getting this percentage, who's going to be announcing it. People, I never forgot, took a friend to a fight, and they said, yeah, so the fighters get paid. I said, man, everybody getting paid. What you think them people upstate? We was at the Patriots Center at George Mason. I said, what you think them vendors is up there just because?
No.
They got to get paid too. Everybody getting paid. The ring car girl got to get paid.
Business,
the
referees,
the referees, the timekeeper,
man, the doctor on it. It's everybody that's involved is getting paid. Everybody, a part of that is getting paid.
Yeah, sometimes the fighter get the worst out of everything out of
right, and it's crazy. The fighter's the one that's in the ring actually taking the punishment. I want to go back to some of these comments because they came in really fast. If y'all are still watching, I'm gonna try to get back to you real quick. Okay, so we got against the roast with Dose. I'm in Dose. Thank you for being a supporter and always tapping in. He said Tank gonna fight Hector Garcia at 130.
Hector Garcia, because I kept on. What did I say? I think I said Garcia or something with an H. I couldn't put
Hector
it
Garcia,
together.
That's the guy that fought Chris Colbert and beat him
decisively.
Coach Rowe was saying the Verizon Center when we was talking about where could we possibly have Tank at home.
Yeah, and I said Wizards Arena.
Right, and sell out.
What's the capacity for that?
Man, y'all would know better than me.
Let me
y'all
see.
know better than me.
Let me see.
Hakeem TV said Capital One Arena. Okay. Roger Caldwell, what's up, Junior? Bink, great show, fellas.
What's up,
Roger, what's up, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Joel BK said, I had my hopes for Bud Spence, but this Tank in DC, then fighting Ryan made me a boxing fan again.
20,000 seats. So when you look at, that's with the 84 feet. So if you take the 84 feet away and that brings taking up the center court. That might be another couple thousand seats.
Yeah, a couple thousand. Mm-hmm. So that's huge. That's huge. But yeah. So Joel BK, I had my host for Bud Spence, but this Tank in DC, then fighting Ryan made me a boxing fan again. That's always good to hear. That's always good to hear. Like you said, a lot of people didn't want to see Ryan and Tank, but the magnitude of the fight with, you know, the fan base that both of these fighters bring to the ring. I mean, it's always great to see people coming back and being boxing fans again. And hopefully you stay this time. Because I swear I keep standing on it. Boxing, where it's at now, is in the era I don't think it's been before. You take men's boxing, women's boxing, the money that's involved. Even though we don't talk about it on the show because I don't like it, a lot of the exhibitions that's going on, boxing's in a place that's really never been at this magnitude before. So hope you stay around for that. Who we got? Bruce Hope. Did y'all see the video clips Boost posted this week? Slim a monster.
Oh yeah,
I did see
the body
that.
bag.
Yes.
Good torque.
Yes.
Pulling through each shot.
Yes.
Yeah, good precision.
Yes. I shared that on my Instagram story. If y'all don't follow me on Instagram, it's BINK_boxing. BINK_boxing.
Who ain't following you?
BOXIN.
Who ain't following you?
I ain't got a blue check yet, so a lot of people. I ain't got a blue check, man. Follow me, BINK_boxing. And yours is
Junior the Golden Boy.
There's no dot in it. It's just Junior the Golden Boy.
Oh, Junior dot the Golden Boy. But it still pops up either way.
Yeah, if you type it, it'll pop up.
It still pop up.
Right.
But you know, like to your point about the exhibitions joints. Matter of fact, I'll save it for after you do the comments.
Yeah, okay.
I'll save it for after the comments. Because that would be something we could talk about.
Catherine Cruz, she said, "Oh, Pitbull turned into a pitbull when that Stevenson talk started." His daddy was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough
Because that
fight.
could really. It's like, okay, you don't want to. I get why he did it. I get why his father pulled back the fight. Because it's like, if you pulling back the fight, it's because, okay, he fought well against Tank, but he came up short. He fights against Shakur. He's getting better, but he might come up short because, you know, he's not fully polished enough to really make it as competitive all throughout to keep a gas pedal going. So it's like you don't want him to start to get into this category of fringe contender or
the Gamboa category.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Right.
Now I won't say Gamboa because Gamboa still was a world champion at a high level at one point.
At one point.
You know, so it's like you don't want him to start to slowly dissipate almost to where, and then you don't know what it may do to him physically, you know, mentally moving forward.
Right. He wants to get him more W's before he's going in and risk taking that L. Catherine Cruz, who is the little next opponent, we are not allowed to say yet.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say
yet. But y'all will find out soon. Y'all will definitely find out soon. Marianne Hayden says so many people that
don't be mad, y'all, that we know stuff that y'all can.
Yeah, I mean that's just a part of the business. Being able to hold water, that makes you accountable. It makes people trust you. So if y'all want to keep having big guests come on the show, we got to be able to do our part too and hold our water and be accountable and trustworthy. Loyalty, like you said, loyalty is everything. You ain't never gonna see me leak nothing or spill nothing on this show. Marianne Hayden, she said so many people that Mayweather messed up boxing, but follow his blueprint. His blueprint. Make it make sense. That man is a genius and does not get the credit. Would love to see him in the show. TMT, man. We love to have Floyd on here too, and that's true. A lot of people say Floyd messed up boxing, but look how many fighters is doing exactly what Floyd did. Taking the right fights at the right time, doing the right negotiations, maybe not taking the most dangerous fights, you know, that they need to be taken, but Floyd took those risks early. Yeah. So later in his career when he earned the right to do what he did, you know, you can't say Floyd messed up boxing. You can't do that. Jason, oh, go ahead.
Nah, that's the problem. I was just gonna say, and that's the problem.
Oh, okay.
They forget about the pretty boy part.
Jason Klein, he said 135 is a major level right now. Big money talk. Yeah, 135 is a lot of money to be made at 135.
And the big money talk, I think you talk about it because I keep seeing it on it because we had the money team and everything. Yeah. Then if we bring Leonard Allaby and get Floyd comes and everything,
some of the fighters on here. Yeah.
Especially Leonard being from right here, you know, that's gonna be a big deal. But I mean, we've been around these guys kind of a lot. Like been around DC Curry a lot, dog. Like
that's what I'm saying. It's
that's like normal.
It's like having Derrick in here, it's like not even like being, you know, starstruck. Because Derrick is so humble. He's like a big brother for real.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can call Derrick whenever, or text Derrick, and he'll hit me back.
He'll hit us back.
Yeah. So
it's been times I done been around Derrick and people automatically think, oh, so you went and found the money. So I'm like, no, I'm just cool with him, bro. Like just like any other camp. Yeah. Like any other trainer, any other camp. You know, but it's crazy, you know, how people talk about the whole side missions thing with the exhibitions and everything. That stuff been going on forever.
It really has, yeah.
Jack Dempsey had a side for I'm trying to think, did he fight a bear? I know he fought a wrestler. I know he did that. Willie Pep and Sugar Ray Robinson, they had fought when they were amateurs. Then they wound up doing a showcase at Massacre after they retired. Man, it's so many ones. Two-ton Tony Galento. God, I mean, Joe Lewis did exhibitions. It's just, the list goes on. Ray Leonard did exhibitions. Funny story, my father told me, and I didn't believe it until somebody found the old footage. It was on a cruise ship. He boxed this amateur fighter on a cruise ship. It's right after he had his eye surgery after he fought Tommy.
Right.
So he told the guy beforehand, dude, we gonna work like we gonna make it funny or whatever, but just don't touch my left eye because it was still healing.
Right.
Slim. I never get my father told me that. This before I ever saw the footage. They joking like, Ray Phantom roll his arm, then the dude starts doing the same things, but they just feign that moving around. Then he tried to get out on Ray. Big mistake.
Right.
Big mistake. Then he flicked a hard jab. He would flick a jab at Ray, but would do this at first. This time he extends it all the way and goes directly to the eye. And Ray went like this, and you see Ray do this. And whenever you see Ray in old clips do this, and eyes go big, oh, you in trouble. Or he would do this in the corner, wave his hair back, like, oh, he was in trouble.
No doubt.
And all of a sudden, Ray admitted, he said, when he touched my eye, just something changed in me. Like, I just immediately thought he's trying to be competitive. And now I have to, he's an opponent now. And next thing you know, he still took mercy on this boy and then hit him in the head. I think he may hit him in the head one time and didn't even put full pop on it, but crushed this kid to the body in front of everyone and just party over. And the way Ray walked away, that slow walk he always after he dropped people, and he just like, everybody just started, whoa, and just started clapping. And they knew, and the dude was just like, the first one he went, second one he went, sat there. I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is over. Like, this is over.
Right.
But yeah, these fighters been doing that forever.
Yeah, they been. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think we talked about it. Not on the show. The show
Yeah, we was on the phone.
We was on the phone talking about it, and I was tight about these exhibitions. I'm like, oh, it's
Yeah,
gonna
I
take away
remember.
from boxing. It's gonna take away this and this. And honestly, at this point, I don't think it's taking away anything. I mean, look at what I say it again. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, what they did, sold out. Tank and Ryan Garcia about to sell out. We've had big fights. Canelo had a big fight that pretty much sold out. So many fighters. We had Shakur's doing great numbers. Devin Haney, Kambosos did great numbers in Australia. So even though they doing all these exhibitions and Jake Paul doing this thing over there, boxing's still thriving.
Of course, people try to say.
So I don't really got it. Exhibitions that's its own category. It is what it is. But
And I want to get your opinion on this. People say boxing's a dying sport. And no, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. At one point, I actually started to believe that because of the situations that were going on in boxing, where certain fights weren't getting made, and then people could flick to UFC and see that artistry and know that these guys are fighting each other. Even though, if you really take the UFC situation, it's kind of like the Don King pay-per-views all over again, where every fight was a banger. But it's kind of because Dana White, like, if I call you to take a fight, if you don't take it, you kind of gonna look a certain way. And same thing with Don King was handling everything. Carl King was handling everything. It was like, oh, you signed to us, we called you to make some money. You don't want to make some money type of thing. This is what you do type of thing. So, and now it's not as much as that. So it's like, okay, now what if that wasn't like that? What if fights happen? But still, you can't turn to something else and see fights happening and then go to another sport like, man, ain't nothing happening here. Then it kind of makes it feel like it is dying. Right. But now, you got a lot of young, hungry guys who really want to do stuff. You got some. It's still a few out there. It's still a good handful out there that, Teofimo is one of them. Like, you heard how he talking when he was coming up. Now, they want that. They want that work. So.
For sure.
It's, it's right now it's a lot, because now one thing I can say about Jake Paul is, at least he's bringing more cash. Okay, bring more casuals. At least you could do.
Right.
It's the least you could do.
100%. Yeah. People ask me all the time. Well, I'll ask people like, "Hey, do you watch boxing?" I mean, not much like I used to. I used to watch boxing, but I ain't watched really since like Mike Tyson and them. I always be like, "Look, you gotta go back." The door. He's saying close. It's loud out there. Yeah.
Like, I gave the hand. Special K looking at me like I'm doing sign language and pulling the airport and all this. Special K, Coach K, close
Hell
the
no.
door.
Nah, but look though, like people, I ask me like, do you watch boxing?
Yeah.
They be like, nah, not since like Tyson and like Roy Jones and them. I be like, yo, you need to watch boxing now. Just flick it on a Saturday night. Like catch a top ranked card and you'll see there's a lot of talent, a lot of guys that could do the things that you fell in love with back in the 90s. A lot of guys. Jared Anderson is a heavyweight that's coming up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys is really putting on some fantastic shows. So that's what I always kick to people. Like, you ain't watched boxing since the 90s, turn it on now. So I guarantee you'll find some excitement. You'll find some amusement in the sport again.
I see people say in the chat, Tiffany Banks said, dang, oh shit, can you get Tank on there before his fight? I'm working on it. I'm trying to.
We've been working on it. I've had a couple people reach out, said they're going to reach out to Tank for me. So Tank local. I think he's local right now. He between places, between gyms. But, we're going to keep doing our thing and try to get Tank on here. They said, why Jaleel not on the DC card with Tank? That would have been crazy. It would have been. Like
Let's
I
just
said,
look at each other at that question.
Yeah, it would have been crazy.
Yeah, it would have been
crazy. Y'all just stay tuned, man. Y'all stay tuned. And
that'll be wild.
Right. For sure. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for Slip Encounter to get your boxing news. Get your boxing news.
Oh, God.
Get your news. I think it's so important that we're good at holding water because a lot of these YouTube boxing channels and shit, they can't wait to get something under the table and they can't wait to go drop it. And half the time the shit be false.
And then they dick riding whatever flavor of the year for them fighter it is. And that majority of them, a lot of them, like, I'm sorry, you're never gonna catch me on this show. You're not gonna catch me being on this show screaming at the top of my lungs, arguing with somebody over another man. That's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Like, and me and BINK have been on the phone and been on here going back and forth about a fight, but it'll be at this tone. Like, it's not that. I don't know if it's because of the sports we done came from or what, or because we done stuff. Like, so I don't know what it is. But you will
just
not
never that
catch
serious.
that. It's not that serious, bro. But it's always the guys who ain't never been in a training camp a day in their life, never played something like football day in their life at a high level, that be having the most to say and the most opinions and things like that. And it's like, okay, look. And then they will purposely clickbait and purposely do, okay, this is what the masses saying. Okay, I'm going to go opposite just so I could get the attention that I want and need. And it's like, half of the stuff I be saying, I'll be like, dog, I cook them if we was to talk boxing. But on top of that, and BINK knows I would cook a lot of these guys. Like, I'm not.
He a historian. Like, I would cook a lot of y'all, but he would really cook a lot of y'all.
Like,
he's like the historian.
And
he'll pull
BINK
out a fight from the 40.
You be having to pull like, go, bro. Go.
For sure. Like, this joker pull out fights from the 50s and the 60s and sparring sessions from happening like Idaho back in like the 80s. I'm like, bruh, how you even know about that, bruh? How you even know it? But, being around the sport, being a historian, listening when people is talking, loving boxing. You got to love boxing to talk boxing. You can't get in here, especially come in this room with us and think you're going to have an opinion about boxing and you ain't did your homework. You don't know who you're talking about or what you're talking about because you're going to look crazy.
Hell yeah. Look crazy. I mean, like, for instance, if you can't tell me who Black Murderer's Row is, you can't talk boxing with me. And who Black Murderer's Row is, real quick for y'all. For the people who don't know, Black Murderer's Row was a list of black fighters who were, Archie Moore was almost on that list, who basically you stayed the hell away from back in the day. You didn't fight them. And Ray, at the time, one of the guys was Charlie Burley. Charlie Burley was dangerous, never got a title shot. And a lot of people say, as great as Ray was, Charlie Burley was greater. Like the Michael Jordan, Lynn Bias conversation we just had up in here.
I'm glad we had that conversation, man, because my dad was showing me clips of Lynn Bias. And it's good to see somebody that knew him personally, firsthand, talk about him.
My mother and father told like, man, it used to be I think it was called Melvin's Crab Shop. I forget how my father told the story, but he was like, man, you'd be back there playing street ball, dunking on everybody. Like, just crushing
Freaking
people.
nature, 6'8", freaking nature. Y'all talk about LeBron James, bro. Like, if you don't know who Lynn Bias is, go look up his highlights.
Son, I go look at this documentary on YouTube.
Yeah.
My mother was like, my uncle was at this camp with him and Lynn. And I forget the name of the daggone camp. But he wanted to call, Michael Jordan wanted to call himself Black Ice. And I forget the nickname Lynn Bias said, and they met each other, but Mike knew he met his equal in a sense, that camp.
Right.
That's what it was. So, and that's how it's I mean, that to me is huge.
Mhm.
As you like, Charlie Burley was that dangerous, and it was like, man, my face too pretty to get hit by Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie was in there with a light heavyweight sparring. Ray looked, turned the other way, and walked out the gym.
Mm.
And I mean, now that's saying a lot.
Right.
That's saying a hell of a lot. And he said, somebody said, y'all have to give Bud credit. He doing way better at the promo than, and that was many.
Hey, Fusion.
And then you have Odell Stanley saying, is the December 10th top-ranked pay-per-view a thing? They just switched opponents for Lopez. Yes, I don't know if it's
I don't think it's gonna be pay-per-view on top.
I don't think it's gonna be pay-per-view, but yes, it probably will be on ESPN Plus as well as ESPN. And yeah, it is gonna be Sandor Martin. Like they already signed it.
And don't not watch that fight because it's Sandor Martin now. I'm telling you, Sandor Martin going in and shock y'all again.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Odell Stanley also backed it up by saying, yo, what's up, fellas? So I have a question. How is the next big start coming out of the next DMV area? Man, it's a list.
It's a lot of guys,
bro.
man. A lot of guys that we know that have been doing it for a long time, that are at that brink of like busting through. Like guys y'all probably don't even know.
Yeah.
Pat, Jordan, Short Dog. It's a lot of guys that's gonna be on
Slim.
that national grand stage here soon that y'all gotta really tap into
And then
and pay attention.
when it comes to the prospects,
The
I gotta give it to my boy Primo. What's up, bro? Matequilla, Big Butter. I call man Santo.
Oh yeah.
Santo, bro.
El Chingon.
Oh.
Yeah, he up next, bro. He up next, yo.
God.
He definitely
The
up
boy
next.
is mean.
Yeah.
That boy is mean.
And just as humble when you meet him outside
man,
the
I
gym.
introduced you to him. He was like,
just
yo,
as
that
cool.
dude Floyd. I said, yeah, he cool. as
And
shit,
and
bro.
then when I went to Buddy's funeral, I had got out my car and I was walking. He was walking. We kind of like bumped into. We kind of partnered, bumped to each other, and just walking and talking. And I swear, man, like when you don't even know how many fighters you probably walk past in a grocery store or pass in the street, because dudes is so humble. There's not a demeanor that you have to be a fighter. A lot of them guys, look at this guy, used to be a fighter. Like you just never know. You never know, man. But big shout out to Santos, man. He a great guy. He definitely up next. Who else, man? It's a lot of guys. So many guys. Sugar Wayne, Dwayne. He got a fight in is it North Carolina or South Carolina coming up here soon. He going down there. Sugar Wayne is that guy, man.
Bruh.
Sugar Wayne is that guy. Dwayne Holmes Jr. That's another name. Odell. Jakeem, Too Sharp, Hutchison. We got guys coming out of here. DMV.
Double R, the real Double R, Rihanna Rios.
Oh, Rihanna Rios. She might be the one.
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm telling you, Rihanna is the
real
one.
Double R. God, dog.
Yes, Rihanna is the one coming out the DMV on the women's side. I'm telling you, stamping it right now. She is the one. Oh my goodness, that just gave me chills when you said, yeah. Woo, yes,
Can't
sir.
forget her, man.
Can't forget her.
Boom.
Who else we got? Oh, Bazooka Joe Veezy. He's nice. I like Bazooka Joe.
And he draw.
Yeah, he draw. He got a big fan
draw.
base.
Franchise Frankie.
Yes, Francois. Yes. A lot of the guys we had on the show already, really the guys you need to be keeping your eyes on. These are the next guys and the next women coming up in the sport is going to do it huge. And they all coming from the
heavyweight. We got a heavyweight too. I can't forget Big Red.
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Big Rig.
Uh-huh.
Man, that boy, man, I had to do jab. I had to do 2 rounds of jab work with that big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, dog, he hit my glove, and I'm like, no, my Santo father go, yeah, y'all swear.
Yeah. Oh, let me not forget our brother Damon Nicholson. Y'all probably know Damon on the grand stage.
Yeah, he's already on the grand stage.
Yeah.
Rank in the WB at the oldest belt.
Right.
Rank what? In the
11
top,
or something?
rank
10, 11?
8, 9, 10, 11, something like
Somewhere
that.
up there, man. He up there. I mean, y'all probably know him from his fight with Edgar Berlanga, but he a local guy that, you know, he's on that brink of world championship, world title contender. He's right there. I just talked to him the other day. 2 days ago, he texted me. He's right there. Believe me. So, the DMV is loaded. I mean, I know they say Ohio runs boxing. Matter of fact, shout out to Ohio runs boxing.
Yeah,
I love that page, yo.
I love
that page. Your
yo.
page hilarious, man. Ohio to DMV.
You saw the
I think
Montana Love track yesterday?
Yes, yo. Yo.
Brent is
Yo.
standing there like, yo, Brent. Like, Brent is like, yo, what's up? And the
Yeah.
dude come down. Oh my God.
Yo, that's
It
a
was
funny
so
ass
messed
page,
up.
yo. Ohio runs boxing, you know, but the DMV, we right up there with y'all.
Yeah,
We
man.
right up there with y'all, man. And also, I want to shout out to my man, Razemian Ford. He fought on the DAZN card. He from Ohio. I'm good friends with him. I did an interview on him. Before the show, I was doing interviews on Instagram Live. He was one of my first guys I had on the show that showed me love and supported me from the beginning. So I just want to give him a big shout out on the show to Razemi and the humble beast Floyd. He didn't get the victory last weekend, but he did fight valiantly. He fought hard. He represented Ohio well. And, big ups to you, brother. Get back in the gym, get right back in the ring, continue to do your thing, man. That was great to see you on that stage on the zone fighting in front of thousands. So that was huge for you, and it was huge for me, for you to be a friend of mine, to see you doing that. So big ups to you, bro.
I mean, man, it's so many guys like coming. You got Raymond Ford coming to Coach, and shout out Coach Anthony. Dudes the mitts.
Oh yeah,
like,
Coach Anthony. Yeah,
Coach
his
Anthony.
fighter looked beautiful too.
Yeah, man. That was Ray.
Yeah,
the one just
Ray,
recent. Yeah,
Ray
that
Ford.
was Ray.
Yeah, Ray Ford. Yeah.
Yeah. And
he looked beautiful in that joint. Sheesh.
And who else? You got so many guys coming up, man. It's so many guys that's trying to make their money right now. Like, they're trying to step out there and willing to take that risk to be great. And like, I had put a post up. I had put a post a couple days ago. I think you saw it when it was like, when George St. Pierre was saying, boxing takes a lot out of the fighter and the people around them. Like, you pay a price. And I keep telling people that when you do this, it's a reason why you heard me. And he knows. That's why he don't never get upset. He knows when I be like, nah, I don't want my nephews fighting. Like, I just shake my head. No, I don't want them fight. It's training. Okay, all right, but I don't want them
to
fight.
Be short on the baby. The baby already be shadow boxing.
Bro.
The baby,
he stood up on me. Like,
the baby be have his stick out there. He was talking about
Slim.
us.
Remember, I was us. I'm out there, and they was like shadow boxing front. Big was like shadow boxing front. Watch what happened. And we still got the footage. I'm shouting. All of a sudden, I just start doing this, catching. All of a sudden, he look up. He start clapping. All of a sudden, he put his leg out. I was like, what? And then he goes, ah.
Yeah. He won, y'all. He won and a half.
And fell on his butt, got up, started going again. He was every time I would turn, he pulling his foot to follow me.
You see the pivot, though? He won with a natural pivot.
Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, God. I'm having trouble keeping him out.
You might be short on that one, yo.
You might be all right, go on with your uncle. Go on with your uncle, bro.
Man, just train him right, man. Train him, teach him the defense.
Yeah, that video of me. Like, don't let him get
teach him the defense. He'll be great.
Yeah,
he'll be great.
Man. And but it's people understand. Like, these dudes are willing to pay a price to be great. This is no different than, to put it this way, football and boxing. Those are the two sports off the top of my head where it's really, and you look at the guys that come out of these environments, it's no different than the street game. You come in, you put if you want to be great, you're going to have to take some risks. And you try to get your money and get out with your faculties intact to where you don't skip no money when you count. You don't skip no numbers when you count your money. And you ain't slurring. And you ain't walking on your toes. So that's just how it is. I see somebody in the chat said, oh, Shakur and Haney. Ugh. Yeah. What you think, bro? I'll go last. What you think?
We kind of already touched on it before. And that's just your classic boxing match. Technical, you know what I'm saying? Chess, Chinese checkers, outthink you, whose jab's gonna dictate the pace, who's gonna control the distance. The things that y'all don't think about besides throwing punches, it's a lot more going into that fight. The counter punching. Who's gonna land the bigger counter punch? Whose timing is better? Whose camp was better? Who rehydrated better? Who conditioned better?
Talk your shit, boy.
Those things. It's beyond just ding, 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 and they here. It's the things that's going on before the fight, leading up to the camp. That's gonna pick and decide who's gonna win that fight.
That camp has to be perfect.
It has
Both
to
be
be
perfect
because that's a 50-50. Who's studying? Who studied more? Who It's just so much besides ding, ding, ding. Let's throw punches at each other. That's gonna go into that fight. I really can't pick it yet, man.
I pick Shakur.
You picking Shakur?
I mean, have you seen them spar?
Oh yeah, I've seen not in person, but I've seen Shakur, and I've heard a lot about Shakur sparring. Yeah,
that was a beautiful sparring set. Now imagine watching that, but then it becoming a little bit higher now because they've gotten so much better, and they're at their I don't think they're at their peaks yet. Some people think so. I don't think so.
They're still so young.
If this is the top of the mountain, they're about right here.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. Like, I still see a lot for the both of them. Tank, in my opinion, is about right here, close to that peak. He's almost about to stand on it with how his skill sets are getting better and his habits outside the ring getting so much better. So that would be... That would be interesting. Oh, now they saying about Truck. Oh yeah, Truck man, Truck man.
Truck another beast, man. Shout out Truck.
Slim.
Man. Shout out Truck.
I seen this boy. I remember when him and Troy Isley fought at the Monument.
If y'all don't know Truck, that's Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Simpson.
Yeah.
Troy Isley is another one that's coming up right now. Speaking of Troy Isley, Troy wants to come on the show too.
Okay.
You know, so like them two fought in the amateurs up at they had a show up at the Monument, and they fought. That was beautiful. Oh my goodness. Like the tack back and forth or whatever. And then you gotta also, but with man, Truck, man, that
They don't call him Truck for a reason. You got Tank coming out of Upton, you got Truck coming out of Upton. There's a reason why these
Malik
these
Iceman Hawkins, can't forget him.
Man, Upton got some fighters, y'all.
And but here's the thing about Upton, bro. And I hate to make it no. It's and I hate to make this a sad note, but I have to be true. These are just the babies. These are the babies. Like honestly, Tank is the baby. Malik Hawkins is the baby. You know, Truck is the baby. There were so many other fighters that they had that just passed away. You know, shout out Ronald Gibbs fought my god brother. Rest in peace, Boosa. Boosa baby, big Boosa baby. Shout out Boosa Drive. Right off Glacier Ave, man. Shout out to my guys up in Capitol Heights. There are guys. Oh, we got stuff. Oh, woo.
Okay.
Hey.
Battle with a highway, yeah. For sure. We got
what side did you get?
I got this is from our guy.
Yeah, Big Roy.
Big Roy. He really Big Roy, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes,
my
sir.
My man. Thanks, brother.
I like this. I'm finna wear this when I get home.
Heck yeah.
Guys, the food is off the chain, bro.
Slim. I still gotta go get my steak. I still gotta go get my steak and rice, bro.
Yeah, I need to get up at that joint.
Yo, we gotta go together. We should just go together, bro. Get in my car.
Hey, if y'all don't know, right here on December 3rd, he's having a toy drive. Toy for Tots. Right here. Okay, look at that address. Toy for Tots. Right here, December 3rd. I think it's from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I'm gonna be there. My mom and my stepdad, they got a biker club called Crossroad Riders. They're coming out with everybody from the club. They're bringing some folks from some other biker clubs to come through. And everybody's bringing toys for the kids and get to enjoy some good food. And, you know, just do it for the kids and just enjoy each other. Get to meet new people, see different Harleys and cars and stuff. So it's going to be a good time. Y'all can make it right here, December 3rd. Make sure y'all do that.
And then, you know, but to the joint we was talking about, like, damn, I've been bossed for too long. What was we talking about? Leave me alone, bro.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, because guess what? I forgot too, bro.
Yo, once I saw the shirt,
I lost my train of thought, bro.
Ronald Gibbs.
Yeah.
Ronald Gibbs. You know, just one of the fight. You know, Ronald Gibbs who fought, you know, shout out to my guys off Glacier Ave on Booster Drive, where the Russell used to live at Capitol Heights. Shout out to my guys, man. Right off of Bradbury. You know, I remember when him and Boosa fought, I think it was the Silvers up at Rosecroft. That fight's still on YouTube, man. And he just had more than Boosa that night.
Right.
But Boosa was there the first 2 rounds, then he just started saying, I mean, Ronald was, if you know what happened, you know, go look it up. But basically, he went out valiantly trying to protect his family, basically. And that situation happened, and there was so many other list of fighters from Upton Gym that were supposed to be pro before Tank. Ronald was trying to go to the Olympics, bro. Like, so people gotta understand this talent. This was a long road. When I say there's certain gym, like I can honestly say I had my father. Like my father, I had everything I needed and wanted. Even though my father was here to say, "Oh, you ain't sparring nobody, you ain't fought nobody, you ain't getting you." Yeah, like he could give me box boots whenever I wanted, but he made me. Remember I told you he made me fight my Jordan cement fours. Piss me off.
Right.
Like, but when I say Tank and Upton got it out the dirt, that's exactly what the hell I mean. You know, so for them to arrive at the point they're at now, it's like, oh, thank you. I'm so happy for Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin.
For sure. That's what I meant by the location, because you know, they say some of the best talent don't never make it out the hood.
Yep.
Don't never make it out the hood.
You talked about it.
Yeah. And that's really every sport. You know, I'm not from the hood. I'm a country boy. You know, I grew up in Northern Virginia. I grew up in, you know, back in the sticks when you had running water. We had a well we had to go get our water from the creek, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
had to siphon water out the creek to fill up our well to take showers and wash dishes with. That's how I
That's
grew
how,
up.
yep, that's how my mother house is.
But a lot of my family is from inner city of Baltimore, and you know, is a lot of the greatest talent don't make it out the hood. My dad from Baltimore City, and the stories he tell me about the guys he played football with and guys he knew that hooped, that I know guys better than Jordan that just didn't make it out the hood. They ain't here today, you know. So and then, you know, with boxing, that's what the location. But the work they doing is so great because even though they can't save everybody, the ones they did save, Javante Davis, you know, Lorenzo Simpsons, those guys, Malik,
and the Punisher,
Monzo,
Big Monzo. How
you
can
know,
I forget? I'm sorry, Monzo, man. My goodness.
Yeah, Monzo, man. Big shout out to Monzo, a big puncher, big puncher. That's another guy. Man, we forget. Damn,
Selby.
Forgive me, Monzo.
Selby.
Yes. Selby, yes, another guy, man. You know,
these dudes is coming. Like, y'all don't understand. They arrived. This camp has arrived.
Right. Those are guys that, like I was saying, are right on that fringe of busting onto top ranked cards and Showtime cards, DAZN cards, and working themselves up in the next couple of years. You know, title contenders, you know, co-main events. They're right on that fringe. So make sure you guys tune in. But yeah, that location is everything, bro.
Matter of fact, I'll give y'all even a bigger one. So where I live at, you got Ray Leonard's gym is maybe 10 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay. Old Hillcrest, where certain fights were held at, if there ain't no traffic on Branch Avenue, 5 minutes, 8 minutes tops. Then you have where the fights, Ray Leonard, the fights were held at Ray Leonard's, or will be held as now Rosecroft and JC's. Rosecroft and JC started JC's always kind of had fights, but now it's really Rosecroft that's really having them more.
Right.
But those, remember I was telling you, man, JC's, all these gyms like 5 minutes, 10 minutes from me. Maybe 15 with the lights.
Right.
They're coming from Upton Gym. Now, for me, that's not a big drive for me. That's not a big deal to me to go to Baltimore. I did that all the time. But that's their mind frame as well. They came up here to fight tournaments nonstop. They came up here to fight tournaments nonstop. So they making it, they fighting all weekend or every week, come making that 45 to an hour, maybe an hour 15 drive up here, jumping on 495, and then going all the way up to Waldorf, and then driving back, fighting.
Right.
Like that's why I always say, like, I was there for some of that, man. Like at weighing in with Tank at certain fights here at tournaments, stuff like that. You know, so and watching him fight at Showplace Arena, and people from Baltimore showing up from Baltimore to come to Showplace Arena to watch him destroy this kid in a round.
Right. I would love to get Coach Calvin and Kenny in here, man.
You know they want to come on too.
Yeah, for sure. It's just the work that they did in the city, the work that they're doing in the city, man, is huge, man. Even, you know, you see Coach Calvin posting on his Instagram, he got Upton Gym full of little youngins. Matter of fact, I had went up to Upton one day. I took off a day off work and went up to Upton to go meet Damon. He was selling CMOS. But I went up there early and I was just hanging out, and Calvin and Kenny was in there. And I was just sitting down there like, yeah, Damon should be back here soon. So I'm sitting there, and there's so many little youngins, like between like 6 and whatever, like 9. There's so many of them in there, and they running around. They got the little TV. He like, I can't work the remote. I can't work the remote or whatever. They just so many young, right? But they in the gym. They in the gym and they safe there.
Yeah,
they safe. That's where they safe at, man. And they in there. Some of them working the mid. Some of them is jumping rope. You know, trying to jump rope. And you know, some of them, most of them may not ever become world champion or be on that level, you know, in boxing. But just the fact that they in the gym, man, they out the street. Man, big ups to Calvin and Kenny for the work y'all doing in Baltimore City, man. It doesn't go unnoticed, man. We love to have y'all on here and talk more about that, you know. I would. I know he would too, and the team would too.
They saying now in the chat, Tank gonna have the city on 5. Miss Teresa Hendricks said that's. I'm trying to be like BINK right now. I'm trying to get my shit together.
I ain't see that comment yet.
Marvin Boyce, we need the Spence Bud fight after they done with they tune-ups. I'll get to that in a second. And Clarence Reeva said that Top Rank been having amazing cards. Now, if them at PBC and DAZN all start working together, more could be great for boxing. More of that could be great for boxing. I mean, man, it'll be on. I'm gonna keep it all the way tall for y'all. Don't expect that shit to happen. Don't expect that to happen.
That's a dream, but that's not gonna happen.
Don't expect that to happen, bro. That is a dream. That is a dream. Yes, you do have certain moments, you know, with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, which was cool. But don't count on that. Do not count on that, yo, because everybody want their own piece of the pie. Like, man, the stuff that we learned about what was going on. Do y'all know the hurdles that were made, the teeth that were pulled, the gums that was played, that was just chipped from flossing, trying to get this fight made with Garcia and Tank? Like, y'all really don't know. Like, just that difficulty, that to coincide together, to work together to get that to happen. Y'all don't understand, like, just how much hell that was. And just because of that, I'll mention this one thing. When do y'all, and I want y'all in the chat to say, when you doing a pay-per-view, what do y'all think about, like, with the sales? Like, do you just think of, and like really think from back in the day all the way up to now, do y'all just think of like you sitting in your ass in your home and everybody else, one to hit, I want to buy the pay-per-view? Or do you also think about Canada? Do you also think about Russia? Do you also think about Tokyo? Do you think about those other
big
places?
in Ireland, they buying
Ireland, people staying there. I remember Spencer Fearon was like, yo, they be staying up till, because you remember they 4 hours ahead of us.
Right, the hours different, yeah.
So by the time the main event happens on a pay-per-view, they trying to stay up 4, 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah, dedicated over there. They love boxing over there. UK big boxing fans.
You got to think about that money too.
Right.
It's a lot to be talked about. It's a lot to be negotiated. It's a lot of stuff that go on, man.
Yeah, but I do like what Clarence said. He said Top Rank been making great fights. Top Rank held it down during COVID. In that bubble, Top Rank kept boxing. I'm gonna say Top Rank kept boxing alive during COVID because they kept putting on cards. A lot of guys, Teofimo fought in that bubble with no fans in the crowd. I think Loma fought in the bubble with no fans in the crowd. There's a lot of good fights. Xander Zayas had a couple fights.
Mikey did too. I think Mikey fought in the bubble too.
No fans in the crowd. Top Rank was one of the ones that was really pushing boxing during COVID, and they kept it alive. And I was thankful because I was like, damn, I'm in this house. I ain't working. I ain't got nothing to do. The only thing I could do was watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a blessing to curse because look at us now. We back. Boxing's back and everything's great. What's up?
You got a shout out.
Natalie Z. Hannah. What's up with BINK? Whoever said pay-per-view was dead is a lie. Them worldwide numbers are still strong. Half of the promoter don't even promote fights with money anymore. Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, no. That last part, no. The money got to be there.
Not the money. But, boxing is promoting itself now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the numbers are huge. The worldwide numbers are huge because you got to think the UK holding down boxing, especially on the women's side.
Yeah,
they are holding boxing down over there, man. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Pay-per-view is not dead. I think what people say is dead is people streaming and putting them fire sticks in and stealing the fights. Stealing everything, but people was doing that with the cable boxes back in the day.
Back in the oh man, you remember them Jones?
The cable box,
Scrambler, the
Scrambler, because you find a channel and they're gonna pop up. Yeah,
God.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more now because you can get a fire stick so easy, just plug and play, jailbreak it. Yeah, it's mad easy. I refuse. Me myself, I would not steal a fight because I know the business behind the fight, so I'm not gonna steal a fight. I'm gonna pay for the fight and give the fighters and the teams what they deserve. It might be $50, but you break it down over a couple 100,000 people. That's a lot of money. So
then remember, I think that time me and you was on the phone, and I think I was like, bro, I really don't want to watch the pay-per-view. I'm only ordering because my friend's fighting on it. He wasn't even the main. I forget what friend it was, but he wasn't even on the main event. He wasn't like. I don't even think he was. He was on the pay-per-view card, but he wasn't the main event. And I was like, man, I forget who it was. I forget because there's been so many of them. But I will buy it just because my friend is on the card.
Yep.
Like, oh, my friend's on the card. I'm going to order it. Just, I'm not going to do that to them. And BINK, coming from where BINK's coming from, he like, man, dog, I done been around so many fighters and see what they got to go through. I ain't going to do that to them, man. Like, you train, especially as your friends start to ascend. Right. It's like, dog, I ain't going to take that from them. And people don't get that jump. But, I get it. If it's a young kid doing it, I don't sweat it because he probably love the sport so much. But he's 16, he ain't making no money for real. Right. So it's like, you know what? He ain't like this one over here. So he ain't making
caked up,
so it's like he may not be able to do that. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do the fire stick. So I can I really want to watch this and learn something.
Right.
I just want to see
I feel that.
Man.
What happened to a fight party? Man, back in the day, always a fight party at Uncle's house. Or your dad's having a fight party. You ain't like them?
I hate fight parties.
I like fight parties.
I fucking hate it.
No, I like them because I'm the one hosting them.
I'll
be hosting
my
them.
God.
So I ain't gotta go nowhere.
Oh my God.
I ain't gotta go to.
But
hey, yo, BINK, fight party
will be different. Well, you will be different because me and you see the sport the same.
Now, you talking about a bunch of dummies in the back hollering dumb shit?
Oh my God.
Yeah, that is frustrating.
Real quick, can we turn the music back on in the headphones? It's okay. If not, don't sweat it. But let me tell you why I don't like fight parties.
I
And you
forgot
already
about
know
that.
the story. It's me and Alan Russell. It's the Marquez Floyd fight. We go to this lady house down the street from the Russell's house. So we go downstairs. I don't even think she charged us to go down there. So we go in there, right? And I sit there. It's loud. It's annoying. They get louder as they drink. And they don't shut the fuck up. And they don't know shit about what they talking about. You laughing because you know it's true. They sitting there. So Floyd come out, right? You got a Hall of Famer and Manuel Marquez right there. And this lady go, why are they even making this fight? Like, come on now. We already, look at this. Like, he's some trash. 50, I think Marquez record at the time was like 56-3.
Mm-hmm.
56-3. He's some try to do this. And Allen do this. It's okay, bro. It's okay. Just let it go. Let it go.
It's frustrating.
And I'm like, and then you got that one dickhead in the back going, yeah, that's how I fight. Shut the fuck up, bro. You don't fight like that. Stay in your lane. Like,
yeah, no lie.
Like,
it do be the loudest people in the room saying the dumbest shit.
yeah,
He
that's
running
how I
from
fight.
He running. Why don't he? All right.
Exactly. Exactly. I done touched the nerve. I done brought some memories up.
Nah, for sure.
'Cause that's how it be.
He down in the. I remember, my cousin. Right, we was watching. I ain't gonna say his name. We watching.
You put one of my moves.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say his name. We was watching Fury versus Wilder. We was watching Fury versus Wilder 1.
Oh,
and
man.
before Wilder got that knockdown, he was like, Wilder up. He won every round. I got Wilder up. He done won every round. It's a skunk. You serious?
What fight was it? The first or the second?
The first one. He had Wilder up. Talking about, I gave him every round.
Probably because Tyson was going backwards. That's the only thing I could think of.
Going backwards, but look at the fight. Tyson was dominating. He was dominating until the knockdown. You done got me off topic. But damn, what the hell we talking about?
Yeah, go ahead.
Fight parties.
Yes.
Fight parties. I was saying fight parties are good for the reason of for pay-per-views, $80 and everybody bring $5. That cover food, drink, and the pay-per-view. Everybody put in 10. We ain't gotta steal the fight. We pay for the fight. We got some pizza, we got some Doritos, some dip, whatever, a couple little drinks or whatever, 12-pack, some water if you don't drink, you know what I mean? and everybody good. Some Chick-fil-A, we got some nuggets on the table, some Chick-fil-A sauce, waffle fries, fresh too.
You throwing shots at me
You know what
right
I mean?
now, bro.
Fresh.
You throwing shots at me right now.
Fight parties are a good thing. You know, you gotta take the good with the bad. You know, it's gonna be some dummies in the back, but I think it's a good thing.
Bro, you know one fight party I wish I was at though?
What's that?
That one clip when Pacquiao got knocked out and
By
that
Marquez.
family. Oh my God.
Slim,
It's a
I was at a
clip
fight party.
that's still viral. Cause I've had Asian friends that they'll be like, he's so huge.
In the Philippines.
Man, not
In the
just the
Asian
Philippines,
community,
just
period.
Asian community.
Mhm.
And people explain to me, the coach, especially when I found out my heritage and all that stuff, you know, like, okay, Puerto Rican, Asian, and all this stuff, Nigerian, all this stuff. Like, so, and the British stuff. So it's like, okay, they would teach me about it. And when he had Marquez hurt before he got caught, how his had Marquez's leg go stiff, and he's trying to drag his foot, get out the way. And you see this family on YouTube pointing and laughing, oh my God. They start crying and everything. And me know how much I love Marquez, man. He's like Alexis Arguello to me. Like how my dad talks about Alexis Arguello, he fights similar to Alexis Arguello. And like, that's like him and his brother Raul are like, that's Rafael. He's like, yo, they are like Alexis Arguello to me. Same thing here, bounce off the little toe. Oh my goodness. And it's just like, I would have been sitting in there like this.
Slim. I told you, for that fight, I was at a fight party. Most of my friends when I was stationed in San Diego were Filipino. All my friends are pretty much Filipino. And,
Sound about right.
And they had a fight party. Of course they had a fight party. Everybody's in that joint. Pacquiao doing this thing. They toasting. Everybody's taking shots. And when you, like you said, he landed that shot, everybody was, oh. And then Marquez took that step back and dropped that right. Boom. And I tell you, you could hear a rat pissing on ice in that joint. I'm talking about, it was so quiet, and all you hear is, you heard cries, like people was crying like somebody lost their life.
But that was a scary knockout.
It was very scary.
He wasn't moving.
But Slim folks was really in there crying. But when Marquez landed that punch, I said, "Oh yeah!" I said, I was like,
they
"Oh
would have
yeah!"
killed you in
Yeah,
that
I stood
house,
up,
bro.
yeah, because it was such a big knockout, and I was kind of going for Marquez because of how the previous 3 fights had went. So I wanted to see Marquez get his glory. It's just sad it had to happen like that to Pacquiao. Thank God he came back and bounced back. But yo, that was being at a fight party, a Filipino fight party, at that moment with that fight, man, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. The tears, like real live tears.
Like real life tears. And they would have cried if he would have got knocked out, just couldn't get up.
Right.
Like stumbling to get up, they would have still cried, but they cried worse because of how bad. Like his wife went off. His wife always kept Jinky always keep her composure at fights.
Mm-hmm.
She went
She
off.
tried to get in the ring.
She was trying to get in the ring because he's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I got kids by this man.
Right.
And we
You
got
saw
to
his
raise.
back doing this. He was like
he was still breathing. His body was twitching. His nerve jumping his leg when he went down. Like it was like, oh God. And then you heard Roy as soon as he got hit before he even hit the canvas. You heard Roy go, oh no, he's not getting up, Jim. Not this one.
That was bad.
Not because he knew from seeing how that shot went. He ain't getting up, Jim.
Right.
Those shots are devastating.
And that's why I asked Derrick about Floyd and Pacquiao in their primes, because I swear Floyd is landing that punch on Pacquiao. Floyd is landing that punch, and if Floyd in his prime with the pop, hands are a little bit healthier then, and just the speed is a little bit more accurate. With Pacquiao fighting how he fight, he landing that punch. I got Floyd in their prime. This is theoretical, of course. I got Pacquiao, Floyd in their prime.
At 35.
Floyd stopping Manny Pacquiao in a vicious way, because he's gonna run right into it. He's running right into it. It would have been lights out the same way Marquez got him.
Yeah, I think he would have broken. And two, back then, Pacquiao made more mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Way more mistakes.
He was way more risky. Way more risk. Yeah. Yeah. And
it took a long time for Freddie to slowly get him throwing more hooks, making certain adjustments. It really told, oh yeah, Freddie, because that's when you learn how much Freddie learned from the great Eddie Futch. The great Eddie Futch. God rest his soul. Those fights, when I saw how he started to mold Pacquiao, that told me like, oh yeah, this is where all that Freddie done learned from Eddie Futch is coming out right here. And and I gave Freddie his respect for that. And it's like man, just certain great trainers, Eddie Futch, man, Angelo Dundee, Pepe Correa from here. Pepe Correa's from here. Oh my gosh, Manny Stewart. Can't forget Manny Stewart. My goodness. And that those guys, man, like you just have certain stuff that they doing where Eddie Futch, the scariest thing I ever seen with Eddie Futch when he stopped the fight with Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier wanted to kill Ali going into the third fight. Because the type of man that Frazier was, if you watch the Thriller Manila documentary, have you ever seen the documentary? You saw, oh my God. Like I think honestly, just a little bit, I don't think Ali was scared of Joe, but he knew he was looking at his equal.
Oh, for sure.
And he knew, and you heard Freddie Pacheco say it. And he said, you talking about two guys with the capacity to hurt the other. Hurt them badly. You're talking about somebody might die tonight.
Right.
And then the circumstances that the fight was under was so dangerous. Was so dangerous. I don't get how the hell they let that fight happen. But they had to let it happen because of where it was, the war going on. And then on top of that, you have to have, just like the Zaire fight, you had to make certain fights. Same thing with the time. Like you had to make the time coerced to American time so you can make it for primetime television. And these two, I don't know how the hell they did. Angelo Dundee said, man, I was getting exhausted going up and down the damn stairs. I don't know how the hell they did it.
Right.
And Ali said, Ali wanted to quit. Ali was going to call it. Willie Monroe, father, was in the back. He was in Frazier's camp, but his seat was behind Ali's corner. And he could see, he saw Ali come to the corner and sit on the stool and say, cut him. That was his word, cut him. And when he said cut him, Angelo said, no. Because he wanted to stop it in the tip. I think he heard, because he was damaging Ali going, because he was hurting Frazier early.
Right.
Now he's hurting him worse. So now he said, no, you got a long, Freddie, doctor, he said, well, you got a long way to go before you die. All right, we got a long way to go from there. But then when he got to around 13, 14, I think he might be dying at this point. He said, cut him. No, let's go back in. No. And he's, nah, man, I'm done. Cut the gloves. Was Ali's word as he's like this. Willie hears it. Willie's doing this. Hey, No, Fred, Eddie, trying to get Eddie's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Frazier's blind, can't see shit.
Right.
He's fighting off of just pure nuts, guts, and instinct. Because he already had an eye injury. And just to think, the eye injury that he was hitting the speed bag, I think he said it's 66. He's hitting the speed bag, metal part popped, hit him in the eye. That's what that depleted his vision in that eye.
Right.
So if you watch his tapes, if you think, if a guy's going towards the right, you throw the right hand. But he would get you to go to his good eye on the right and throw his hook. That's crazy how he pulled it off.
Yeah.
And you know, and still slip shots and stuff like that, the way he worked. So it's like he goes and sits. And Eddie, I never forget, I'm watching this and seeing Georgie Benton, who was the last alive from that corner. But there's plenty of interviews with the great Eddie Futch, and as well as the great Georgie Benton. God rest their souls. Because Georgie Benton died shortly after that documentary. And this is the guy who was so good, but he wouldn't work with the mob.
Right.
And he didn't get a title shot.
Right.
And became a coach and was coaching with Lou Duva and had so many great fighters. And then they go and he says, Joe, you can't see. And Joe takes a swig of water and he spits it out and it's all blood. And he said, no, fuck that. And when you start with Frazier in the interview, he gonna say, no, I just don't know, man, I can't see. But he was cussing up a fucking storm. Right. He said, no, fuck that shit. I don't stop this thing. Because he told them when Ali shot the gun at him on the balcony, he said he never flinched. Marvis is going like, yo, what the fuck? Whatever. And he just turned to Eddie. He said, you don't stop this fight until I had that pretty boy's heart in my hand. Damn. I want to squeeze his blood and show him I own him. Don't stop this fucking fight. And Butch Lou, God rest his soul, Butch Lou was like, man, he was willing to die for that. And Frazier said in an interview, yeah, I was willing to die. Right. And I'm okay with that. And Tyson said, man, Ali and Frazier, they will die for my father. He said, them two will die for this. Tyson, as vicious as Tyson is, he said, man, I wouldn't die. I can't die. I'm not gonna die for this. And Eddie Futch goes, I know you can't see. You can't see shit right now. You can't see nothing. I know you can't see. You lying. And that's when he turns it and when he talked to the reporter, from the Philadelphia Daily News, he said, Philadelphia Inquirer, he said, you know why I started? He said, why? He said, because I done seen so many guys. He recounted 7 deaths in order to this reporter and broke it down, told them the symptoms of each 7 fighters he saw die prior to that, and said he knew Frazier would probably die in that 15th round. Damn. And stopped it. Like that type of bruh. Right. The price you pay to be a king for the rest of your life. Those moments. Chico Corrales talked about that. Man, you know, those great fights. Man Stewart, people still say to this day, if the great G-Man wouldn't have left Manny Stewart, he probably wouldn't have got damaged the way he got damaged. Because Manny Stewart said he would have stopped as soon as he saw how he kept holding his mouthpiece in his mouth. Right. He would have stopped it then. And then not put him in the ring for another year and a half and let him rest. Right. People forget that jump. You know, so there's devastating shots that happen in this game. Devastating shots. And you talk about that knockout with Pacquiao. Ruslan Provodnikov against Tim Bradley. How he was slurring his words afterwards and all that stuff, and his wife had to get them together. And he rested, didn't do nothing. People don't be getting that junk, man. Right. People don't be getting that shit, man.
They don't, man. It's the price, like you say, the price you pay to be a champion. Like Teddy Atlas says it all the time. He's like, go through this and you go through that, and you pay the price to get under them lights for one night. You could become a champion. You risk your life to get under them lights for one night at a chance to become a champion. You know, it's just from being around fighters and listening to the stories, man, I just got so much respect. So much. Ain't nothing like it. I don't think there's nothing you can compare to what fighters go through to get ready for a fight.
You work your whole life for 36 minutes.
To get into that ring, man, and you can pay the price. I look at what just happened with the guy that fought David Morrell. Yeah. I mean, oh my God. You pay the price, man. It's so much that can go wrong. But it looks right because it's like, man, it's a combat sport. Like this is what they're supposed to be doing to each other. But it's like, man, at the end of the day, it's like, is it really worth it? But at the same time, it's like, to pay that price to be under them lights is like forever living infamy, man.
You know it's crazy,
Live
but
forever.
even with you in your football, you paid the price to have your name. Like, yeah, that's BINK, man. He hurt you.
Yeah.
Like, he hurt you. Like, and BINK is told, BINK ain't gonna go on here, but I'll tell you, this dude paid his price to be playing football at the highest levels that he's done played at. You know, he's not gonna say it. I'll say it. You know, but you know the whole David Morrell situation. It was crazy because as the fight was happening, my father was like, man, they keep sending that boy back out there. And my father thought he was trying to tell them something, but they wouldn't understand him. And they was pushing him back out there. And God bless David Morrell for after he went and did his celebrate, but then he looked and he saw nope and he grabbed him and tried to and helped him up. But we was looking at the fight thinking the fight should have been stopped 2-3 rounds sooner.
Right.
He started to really get peppered. Like, he was getting peppered with some shit, bro. Like, I mean, my God. And next thing you know, you hear he's on his way to the hospital.
Yeah. Scary shit, man.
Hell yeah.
Scary shit. And, you know, folks always talking about like the UFC is more brutal. I don't know, man. I don't. You don't really hear much about UFC guys getting sent to the hospital and being in induced comas and stuff.
I've heard a few, but not
at a frequent rate, as a rate as boxing. I feel like it's
not at the rate as boxing.
Every year in boxing.
Yes. So this
people
is
losing
the
their
difference.
lives every year. It's crazy.
Somebody say can't wait for Spence and Thurman. I'm gonna get to that, but let me explain real quick what this is.
Oh, he said Spence and Thurman. See, I'm so conditioned to hearing Spence and Crawford. I just automatically thought.
You was on my shit. You was on my shit
I hear
right
Spence,
there.
I'm like, oh God, not Spence and Crawford again.
So I'm gonna go ahead and explain it for y'all. So this is the difference. You get hurt in the UFC, 9 times out of 10, they stopping that shit like immediately. Like you might take a couple hammer fists and then it's over. You know, but if you hit that floor too hard, it's over. The difference in boxing, you starting to see it more. But back in the day, dude be out cold and they still doing the 10 count. You had to like damage this dude, like ruin him to stop it. Look at how devastating the fight. They were still counting when Tommy hit Pipino Cuevas. His corner stopped it. The referee didn't stop it. The referee was counting.
Yeah,
Look at the highlights.
I've seen it. Dude's out cold and the ref is still.
Yeah, and it's on. And you see how his leg lifted up. He hits the canvas, and you see him get up, and he's like this. His corner goes, nah, jumps in the ring. It takes his mouthpiece out, but they were gonna let that go. You see Tommy walking up, about to load up. You know, and as things progress, you look at these fights. That's the difference. You see guys get clipped, but the difference is you get clipped and you keep going. Like I said it on here many times. I'll say it again. When I got clipped, sparring, I was helping Kendall Brooks get ready for Mike Reed, and I was getting ready for my stuff too. But I wasn't getting ready for the silvers. He was getting ready for the silvers. And we running. It's full contact. It's Coach Tim. Dog pound, you running it. And flash knockdown, boom, hook, hit the ground. But as soon as I hit the ground, I'm like, what the fuck am I? Oh, I got caught. Come on, get up. But, and I told BINK this story a couple times, like, I did not remember for when I got in the car like that, what I get hit with. My father was driving. We in the Black X Terror. Going home. He go. He just look at me and grin. He said, don't worry about it, man. Just don't go to sleep when you go home. Don't go sleep till I tell you to. I'm like, what? And then 2-3 hours go by, it's like 11 o'clock. And I had like a slight headache. Not like a serious headache, just like at a scale of 0 to 10, it was like a 2. Like a little throb here. And he says, all right, man, you good. You go ahead and go to sleep now. It's like 11:30, something like that. Wake up the next morning. And immediately, I just wake up and do this. Sweeping hook. Motherfucker. Grab my phone. Dad, it was a hook. Dad, bust out laughing. Yeah, you got caught. It was a hook. Right in between. Classic combination. In between, you threw your hook, he threw his. And actually, yeah, he's like, that's... You have those type of situations. And the difference is you're going to keep going. And I got up and kept going. Like, we kept going for another 20 minutes. Like, another 6 rounds. We were still going. And thank God I didn't hit nothing devastating. I didn't get hit with nothing else devastating moving forward. But imagine if I did. You know? Like, those things, maybe I'm slurring a little more these days. If I did. Those things happen. You know, but... to Spence and Thurman? My boy, for real? You can't wait for that? You can't wait for that. Like that, you really fiending, huh? You fiending heavy, Matthew.
That fight should have been happening, but they was both being petty.
Matty.
Thurman was petty back in the day when he had the belt, and then Spence got the belts. He didn't want to fight Thurman. Now they almost have to fight each other.
Matty.
They have to fight each other, so.
Matty. You fiending. That's the fight you ain't, bruh. It's the Ugas fight all over again.
I ain't mad at him, no. I mean, Thurman still got gas in the tank.
No, making money.
As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to say sleep on Thurman. I wouldn't even sleep on Thurman, man. I wouldn't. I think it'd be a good fight.
For 4 rounds.
You think Thurman going to last 4 rounds?
4 or 5. Then he going to start getting broken down. And you know how Spence is to the body.
That's I can see that because of his weakness to the body.
Yep.
But Matthew Staples, you know what? I'm going to make him mad right now.
Oh, God.
I can't wait to see that fight neither.
Piss off.
I can't wait because it's a fight that should have happened a long time ago. And I'm glad.
Thurman looked good his last fight.
And Thurman did look good his last fight. We know what Spence is bringing into that ring. And just, the backstory behind it, I think it'll end up being a good fight for us. I think it's good for boxing that we finally get it. So I agree with you. Yeah. Wanted to see them fight for years. It's overdue. Way overdue. Hold on. Before we wrap up this afternoon, this evening, we got some notable fights coming up to end the year. All right, notable fights. Some key dates. We got December 3rd in London on ESPN Plus. We got Tyson Fury versus Derrick Chisora.
Oh, God.
I know. The core boxing fans, we know. But hey, Tyson Fury's making his comeback. He retired. Now he's back.
Was it really a retirement?
Exactly. It's like, Tom Brady. Was it really a retirement? Was it really a retirement? But, when you love what you do, you fall in love with the sport.
Kiss my ass.
When you love what you do, man.
Nah, dog.
When you love what you do, that boy Tom Brady loved football. Risked it all. Risked it all.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? So, December 3rd also in Glendale, Arizona on DAZN, you got Juan Francisco Estrada versus my man. I love this guy, Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez.
Chocolatito.
Fighting for Estrada's WBC franchise title.
Son, the chat keep going up. Go back down, maybe lose a few, go right back up. They don't want us to leave, dog.
They don't. But unfortunately, I got kids at home talking about daddy, come home.
Yeah.
Shout
out to my nephews.
Yeah, I love Chocolatito, man. Chocolatito is a guy that's going to the Hall of Fame probably immediately after he retires. Immediately.
5 to 8.
Right.
5 to 8 years he in.
I mean, for a small guy to do what he's done and to fight the way he fights, what he averaged like close to 1,000 punches a fight. Yep. Even at the age he at now and the wars he's been through, man, just go on YouTube and can't talk to you, I'm punchy too. Type in Chocolatito. Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, and just watch highlights. This guy is a fighter. December 10th in Omaha, Terrence Crawford has a fight versus David. I'm going to butcher this name. I'm going to butcher it. I'm just going to say David A, because I ain't going to butcher that name.
Let me see.
I ain't going to butcher that. Avanesian.
You said it right.
Okay, Avanesian.
Yeah,
Okay. I did all right. I can read a little bit. Okay, they're challenging for Crawford's WBO welterweight title, December 13th in Tokyo. That guy, Nayo Inoue versus Paul Butler.
Bruh, him and Scooter in the future.
Sheesh. I'm
Scooter,
telling you.
get your bread, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Get your money, bruh.
Yes, indeed.
I'm proud of you. Since the amateurs, you for my god, brother. Man, get your money, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
Indeed. I don't really know much about Paul Butler, but I do know a whole lot about Nayo Inoue. And the way he just broke down our guy, that last fight.
I knew when he came in there with Reyes gloves on, something different.
Yeah, he wanted to punch lights out.
Something
he
different.
wanted to throw bricks, and that's exactly what he did. Technical guy, quick, fast, doesn't waste any movement in the ring, and gets to the point quick. Great fighter. And Nayo Inoue. January 28th, another title fight. Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu. 12 rounds for Charlo's undisputed junior middleweight titles.
Oh, God.
January 28th. I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm not.
Another undisputed
fight. That kid.
But you never ever really know though.
Oh, that kid is not ready for no Charlo right now. He make too many mistakes.
We gonna get.
He not ready right. He can hit though. He like his father. He can crack, but he ain't as fundamentally sound as his father.
Which Charlo we getting into the ring though? Which Charlo?
Good point. I can't take that from you.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why you my guy.
You know what I'm saying? So let's save that one for next week. We can go on about that and on and on and on.
Let's give them but they still in the chat. But let's give it till 4 o'clock. Let's give them 15 more minutes.
For sure. February 2nd in the United Kingdom on ESPN Plus. Another title fight, Josh Taylor versus Jack Catterall. That's a good fight. I like that one. They fighting for Taylor's
Jack Catterall fighting who?
Josh Taylor.
Again.
Yo!
I'm excited about that. I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Yo!
Yeah, February 2nd. February 2nd.
Man, Josh better be ready. Because this is what I got to give it to Jack. As quiet as it's kept, people don't know. Jack Catterall was supposed to have been fought Josh Taylor. They paid him step aside money. He had to take the step aside money, but he said, I want a contract that says I took the step aside money and guarantee that I'm still going to get my shot. Because you're telling I'm the mandatory, I'm the top guy, and you want to push me aside so you can fight Ramirez for more money. Make your money, but I better be getting the winner.
I better be getting it for Taylor's WBO junior welterweight title. That's going to be a good fight. Great fight. I think this weekend we got some fights this weekend too.
That could be a topic real quick these last 15 minutes.
For sure. We got some fights in the UK. Nothing huge. Jaime Munguia is fighting this weekend on the zone in Mexico in Guadalajara.
Look at my man, yo. My man, this is why he here, bro. This is why he is here.
I like Jaime Munguia though. Jaime Munguia, he does his thing. He a good fighter. A good middleweight, make a lot of noise at that division.
Yeah, we killing this something like that.
Yeah, he need to go up, man.
I think he don't want to, in my opinion.
I wouldn't go up there right now neither. I wouldn't go up there right now. It's a lot of noise at 168. Whole lot of noise. But yeah, so you want to go back and touch on
not just Jack Catterall fighting, but just the contracts thing. Yeah. Devin Haney he's the staple now. Like Devin and Jack Catterall, he's another name you could put on that as they took bad deals or took steps, whatever, to get to a certain point. Like people was doing that. Like you got Jack Catterall had to sit back and let this party go on around him and not participate for months.
Right.
And his contract wasn't even done to really fight yet. Like he's the man, but they ain't even have a contract for him to fight him yet. Like he had to sit back and let that go. Then you got Devin. Devin, man, I tip my hat to Devin forever for what he did with, because that contract was some bullshit. That was some, and y'all, if you know where I got that from. That was some bullshit. Like that contract, that contract was horrible. And then to sit there and take, and you heard what he said when he was getting his hands right. Only that I didn't care it was in Australia for the sake. I just wanted more money. Like he got to get a little bit more money. And he said it with a smile. He's like, I just want a little bit more money. Like, and he took that risk. Like, okay, like I said, well, I always say about that. He's like the mercenary. Oh, y'all, okay, cool. You know what? I ain't letting none of this slide. I ain't getting tired of people talking this junk. I'll give y'all 2 fights. I'll give you 1 fight. I'll give this one. Like, I'll go to each network and get this done. Like when he retires, that's just what it is now. These days, you're more appreciated when you're gone. Like back in the day, you were always appreciated, but then and now. But these days, it's like you're not really appreciated and accepted until after you're gone. People really look and hear stuff afterwards. Right. He's really gonna be when people really more details come out. Right. Like, Devin, oh wow.
Devin went and got that smoke.
Yeah.
You want to smoke over there in Australia? Got you.
The zone.
You want to smoke in Vegas? Got you. You want to smoke in Mexico? Got you. I got you. I'm gonna take that smoke. I'm gonna take it because I believe in my skill set and I believe I can beat you. So you can give me $5 to fight you. I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna take your title and I'm gonna be the guy. I'm gonna be the undisputed world champion. Y'all made all them jokes about that fucking email title. Who's the undisputed champion right now?
He beat the man who beat the man.
Right. He shut a lot of people up, man. He even shut me up because before he had all the titles, I was like, man, I gotta see Devin fight somebody, man. I mean, I'm not sold on Devin yet. Yeah, Devin got the titles. I ain't got nothing to say.
It's nothing to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I was telling
him. Big ups to Devin Haney, bro, for real.
Because I was telling him, I was like, bruh, I think Devin's something beautiful watch, man. Yeah. I'm telling you, I was telling him, he was giving me his strife about certain things about Devin. I said, yeah, I understand you, Bing, but this is what's going on. This was going to be next. This is how it's going to move forward. And then he's going to do this. And I'm like, but then he started to see some of the stuff that I was telling him because he's like going to the zone. Like, I'm going to give the zone 2-3 fights. Then I'm going to go to ESPN, get them one. Okay, now I'm going to go over PBC fight there. I'm going to go back. He's just going back and forth, hopping. Like, I'm just going to get this fight here, get this fight here. And he did that. And he gave them that work. So no matter what, no matter what happens with him and Shakur, no matter what happens with him and Tank, no matter what happens, you can't take that one thing from like, you know what? He ain't a pretty boy. That motherfucker can't get it.
Sure enough, can't get it. Just like Derrick said, once you become a world champion, you're always known as a world champion.
Yeah.
You'll always be that.
Remember what Lamar Peterson said back in the day? He said he had to get used to people starting to call him champ. Hey, champ, in the grocery store. Hey, champ. He's like, man, I'm Lamont. You just called me Lamont last week before the fight.
Right. That's what it is. Man, I'm losing my voice and everything. That's what it is, though, man. I call people champ sometimes. When I saw Frank Shine at the Roach Call, what's up, champ? Undisputed
She
world
just looked
champ.
up, hey, baby.
Yeah, she turned around. We got a picture and everything, man. That was huge, man. That was huge.
It's like, to me, that's the untold part. That's the stuff people don't. Like Andre Berto got step aside money before.
Oh yeah.
The Jack Catterall situation. I mean, so many fights. It's too many to name where guys have gotten step aside money to let something else happen, and then they pick up. I don't want to say the scraps because they still getting some big pay, but it's kind of almost like you're afterthought, almost. And it's either you're gonna be a dick about it, or you're gonna say, all right, it's cool, go get y'all money, but my time gonna come because y'all gotta see me sooner or later. It's almost like, and Jack Catterall did that. Jack Catterall fought the best fight of his life.
Fought his ass off, yo.
And I know Josh Taylor. I think Josh Taylor I don't want to take nothing from Jack because you're in there. It is what it is. You gotta perform. But Josh did look flat. He looked very
soft
flat.
too. His body looked kind of soft.
Yeah, he looked very flat.
Hell of a fight though. Jack Catterall put on a hell of a fight.
Bro, he put that thing on him. He took him to the shed, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see it again. I didn't know until I just read it that they fighting again. I can't wait to see that joint again, man. What's up with Ramirez? I know he couldn't fight the last time because he's getting married. Where he been at?
Well, I heard he's still in the gym.
Okay.
Like, he's still in the gym, but he did.
What's next for him?
Robert told him to take time off. Go enjoy your family. Go enjoy your family and everything.
Yeah, that fight was tough. He took some damage in that fight.
He took some damage, bro.
Yeah, he took some real damage in that fight against Taylor. That was a good fight too, though.
Yeah.
A real good fight.
And another thing, we could touch on these last 10 minutes is to hear DC come on here and speak the way he spoke about answering the phone, looking at every video, looking at fighters. I done seen stuff happen with so many fights and fighters. When I was talking to Jung about how promoters, they act like they with you, man, I done seen a fighter. Dude, I know since the amateurs, and I mean, this isn't just one. This goal, I know, this probably, it's about 20 on the list. I can go off the top of my head. And all of them got damn near the same story. One of my friends, bad. And to this day, I will never know what this did to him. But he got signed. He got signed to a promoter. I'm not going to say the promoter because if I say the promoter, it's going to give it away. He signed to a promoter. He coming up. You can see he turning that corner. Fights his fights, but he's fighting on TV, but he's like the first fight, or he's fighting on the off card and they show the highlights of his joint on TV. Oh my goodness, we all just cheering him on. So then they put him in to fight the champ. He fought the champ, he lost. And he top rank. They all telling him, all these different promoters want him. All these different promoters. Top Rank wants him. Top Rank. Who else wanted him? I think PBC did give him a call. I'm not even sure if Eddie Hearn gave him a call, but I know a lot of promoters were really heavy on this guy. And I've known him through the amateurs. And he went on, started making it. He's for the top guy. And next thing you know, he goes to the promoter and he's like a little worried, but not really worried. But he's like, I'm sorry for my performance. But does that put? He said, no, you're still good. We got you. They put him in there with the same type of dude as his comeback fight. And he lost again. Then put him in a training camp right afterwards.
Right.
That's like damage back to back. And then mental damage. So it's like, what? It's like, so to have promoters that actually and have a dog, have a killer like that, you're gonna make sure you move him up right because he'll fight anybody anytime, anywhere. It's a big deal, yo.
100%, man. 100%. I'm glad Derrick's like that. A lot of guys, get to that status and won't answer the phone or won't be personable. You can't go up to him and talk to him when they in public, But Derrick moving, he don't got no security with him. You know what I'm saying? He moving because people love and respect him so much. He don't need none of that, and he can be himself and be personable, man. So, man, again, just great to have Derrick on the show. Slipping Counter, that was huge, man. Any young fighters, new fighters, prospects that aren't signed, looking to get signed. If you want to have a chance at getting signed, that's a guy I would reach out to for sure, 100%. But make sure you got your ducks in an order. Make sure, like you said, your character is right. You're doing the right things in and out of the ring, and your chance could be great. Chance could be great. What we got here? Calvin Rodriguez. There's no way you can change all them problems Ryan has in a few months. Once he gets hurt by Tank, he will revert back to his chin way in the air. Night. Calvin Rodriguez. Let's go, Commanders.
Oh, we got 4 minutes left. Look, I don't know if you, Calvin Rodriguez, I don't know if you saw the beginning, but basically I said this already. He makes, at this level, he's making mistakes he shouldn't be making. Pulling his right hand down. He has a gifted whipping hook, but he pulls, shin is in the air. Close his eyes. Those mistakes at a high level, when really at this high of a level, everybody knows your hook is a big thing. You should be distracting guys with this feint, giving them a throwaway hook, and then dropping a hard brick on them, getting them worried about the brick, and then landing some. And if you put somebody like Tank, now you got the lead hand. It's going to be who's going to get around. He's going to get around it to hit Tank. And then you wonder, by the time he tries to get around, is Tank pulling in here? And what is Tank unloading once if he gets by that hook and he shoots it and he pulls the glove, he pulls Tank's glove, next thing you know, Tank already done committed to sliding right in between that arm and he's here. He look at you close, you're like, oh God, that's like you just like, oh God, that's devastating. Like, yeah, that could be very bad. It could be very bad because when he's hurt, I think he's gonna stay hurt.
Because I know Luke Campbell hit him with a shot and put him down. And he was buzzed. I don't think he was really hurt. He
was hurt. He just recovered quick. He recovered very quick. I give him that.
I'm thinking hurt. How Amanda had Katie. She was hurt.
Oh,
she was hurt.
Okay.
She really dug deeper than deep to stay up in that fight.
She was still hurt 2-3 rounds later. Right. She finally snapped out of it.
She was hurt. I think Ryan was hurt, and I think he might have looked hurt because it was like his first time being caught like that on that stage as a professional. Hurt against Tank is different.
Yeah, because when he was hurt against Luke Campbell, he was hurt up until he got on his feet. Because you saw he still struggled. His arm was off.
His arm did this.
Yeah, that's a telltale sign. Then he got up, and then he snapped out of it.
Right.
He immediately stopped out. He was right back. So, yeah, that's a good point. But, it's like, man, I just don't know with his chin in the air is going to be a really bad thing. That's something that you should not be doing at this high of a level in this sport. Having your chin that high in the air. And that's something that, like Calvin said, I don't think you're going to be able to break that so soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then what if he does that and Tank comes with an uppercut and that head goes up higher and then he comes with a hook break? Like, these are the things I think of. Like, the devastation. I always think of, like, okay, and if Tank is caught with a counter hook, okay, whatever. I think of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I think about, can that particular fighter recover? I think about all of those things. I think about all those fighters' attributes about that when I hear about a big fight like this. Because that's all, when you hear a big fight, the first thing you're thinking of is me personally, I'm thinking about is damage.
Mm-hmm.
What damage either one can take in this.
Right. Picking out the shots, you think.
Mm-hmm.
That could stop the fight or change the fight. For real. Yeah, for sure. It's been so much damage that could happen in this fight. It's like taking bricks of C4 or mortars and place them in the ring, and you got to tiptoe around them and mines and try not to step on one and blow up. Like one false step, one false move in this fight, and could be good night. Could be a good night scenario for either one of these fighters. But we believe in our guy Tank. Believe in the money team. They're gonna go in there and do their thing. GTD Promotions gonna go in there and do their thing.
Show, bro? We can't stay a little longer.
Coach Calvin gonna go in there and do his thing.
I'm asking all
Coach
dead serious, bro.
Man, I got things I gotta get to. Man.
All right, I understand.
I got things I gotta
understand.
get to.
I tried. Y'all see, I tried. Don't say nothing else.
I
don't say nothing
y'all.
to me.
I really do, man. Look, it's always love. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Slip and Counter podcast. If you guys like what you saw, subscribe to the channel. Keep tuning in. Keeping up with the group chat. This is love, man. Everybody that comments.
And show love to BINK, because quiet as it's kept, we stay for as long as BINK can. He stays as long as he can. Like we literally, like we stay as long as because he knows I run off of him. Like, we here, all right, we here.
Yeah, man.
I cut my schedule off for him because I know what he sacrifices.
For sure.
Just
I
to come in
appreciate,
here and do this.
appreciate y'all guys, man. Appreciate my team. It's all love, man. So like I said, if you guys rock with Slipping Kind of Podcast, it's not just me, it's not just Junior. We got a whole team that's making this, putting effort into making this what it is, man. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and comment. You guys can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Slipping Kind of Podcast. Thank you guys. Thank you
Real
guys.
quick, shout out Uncle Derrick. Happy birthday, bro. I'll see you tomorrow. All right,
Happy
love you, Uncle
birthday,
D. Because
Unc.
when I was down bad, you always looked after me.
Indeed.
And now you gonna get the reaps of it now that I'm up. Love you, man. Love you, Aunt Smiley.
Much love, much love, much love. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back at you guys next week.